Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Here's Hoiberg, left hash mark. Prager, Mast. My money's on Rienk. Mast drives the ball all the way in. Shot block, got it back, puts it up, no good. Ball tapped out of there. Hoiberg taps it out. It's Sanford, puts it up, got it! Bang! Oregano! Sanford with a 3-ball. Humongous, gigantus, 5-point. Husker lead at 63-58. Pivots, drop step, puts it up, got it! Prager puts it up and down and one for the fabulous freshman. Prager, big, deep breath. He puts it up. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Mobley will throw it in. Nobody guards him. 5-on-4 out on the floor. Gets it into Bynum. Gives it back to Mobley. 6-5. Long shot. Tilly. No good. Rebound by Jacobson. He gives it to Sammy. Down the floor. There's a horn in the Huskers. 10th ranked in the country. By Goddard ahead. 15-0. A record of 15-0. 4-0 in the conference. And they get it on the road here tonight.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. Not as good as Nebraska ball.
Man, I just hear a lot of yelling.
I'm concerned about Kent. Can I be honest with you? I'm worried.
No comment, man. Jeez.
I'm worried he's not going to make it through the end of the year intact.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm concerned. It feels like he starts the games hoarse now.
I don't know. I just want it to be about the sports.
And listen,
That's all.
just
That's all.
hear my heart. I love Kent.
You can't stop it.
I know. I
No,
do.
that's mine. Can't stay here.
All right. Hear my soul. I don't know. I'm
just say,
not hating on Kent at all. I have a very fond spot, soft spot for Kent in my heart. Grew up listening to calling Husker football games in the mid '90s. Like, I love Kent, but I'm concerned about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Puts it up. God!
Okay. Okay.
I'm concerned. I don't think you can do that healthily for 20, however many more games we got. I'm worried.
Anywho,
I'm worried.
Lot going on. Lot.
He's not a young man. I'm worried.
No, I know. It was weird too, because when I left, a couple of guys were like, "Wait, you don't think Nebraska may win, but you like them to cover?" I was like, "Yeah, it was probably a 1-point Ohio State win."
Yeah.
Nah, Nebraska's just not having it.
What'd your boy say?
I like Nebraska.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about them is still after – I mean, it's not like they're Vanderbilt. I mean, has Vandy played anybody ranked? They don't have a quad 1 win, do they?
I don't believe so.
I mean, they're not Calipari, like 9-3, right? People love them. They got all these young freshmen. They still don't look like they can play any offense.
Ken Palm likes Vandy dramatically more than Nebraska.
So here's the thing about Vandy. And listen, I'm not necessarily poking holes in Vandy, because I told you yesterday off air.
Mm-hmm.
I like Vandy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just don't have a lot of good wins. Now, offensive and defensive efficiency, I mean, they're top 20 in both. So that dog's going to hunt.
Their best win is St. Mary's.
Yeah,
Now they smoked them.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's St. Mary's SMU. They had a good stretch there end of November.
Yeah, so I don't – there's lots of things I think you can poke holes.
Mm-hmm.
And with a couple of teams that are hovering in the top 15, 18-ish.
Yeah.
I don't think Nebraska's one of them. Nebraska's just better than their reputation. So you have a hard time. I mean, people just have a hard time, like, buying in. But what they do, I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum, 3 a month ago. We said, Nebraska's just a good basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what they do is portable. So they're always going to give themselves a chance because they defend. And we saw it last night. Listen, they didn't shoot as well as Ohio State.
Yeah.
They were good from the foul line, right? I think they were 13 of 17 or 14 of 17 or whatever 82% is. But they were plus 11 on the boards. So you can turn the ball over 4 more times. You can shoot a lesser percentage. You can shoot 28% from 3.
Yeah.
Because you rebound the basketball and you were getting stops.
They give themselves margin for error.
You have room. Yeah, you have room for error when you're not shooting the ball well. So I don't know. It's just it's thoroughly impressive, and now you have to be careful because bless Coach Hoiberg's soul. He has to fend off now. He's in uncharted waters.
Mm-hmm.
So like even the post game, like go back and listen to Michigan State with KP. Like he bristles up at the notion that they're somehow validated, or this is like
he's like, I thought we were good the whole time, kind of.
So you have to be careful,
with
coaches like that, because he's had some success. He's on a good 2.5-year run. The program has been legitimized for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to be careful with the legitimacy and how you see wins, because you have to count them and be like, hey, that's a good win. But when you think you're pretty good or you have been pretty good, there's this fine line where you don't want to have it. Like, don't call this program defining. We're pretty good. So that's how the coaches and the players think.
Yeah.
So balancing what goes on around them is gonna be fun to watch, because you can tell like they think they're not surprised.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they're all gonna tell you
they weren't gonna say 15-0,
but I think they think they're pretty good, and I think they thought they're pretty good.
Well, the net rankings like them at 11, which is, I mean, you're talking about top 2 or 3 seeds at that point.
Yeah.
If you stay in that neighborhood, like that's a very, very good basketball team. I think I said this yesterday. I think they split this road trip. If I had to guess, I think their first loss comes at Indiana. But I'm not sure. Like I said, like Indiana isn't. I don't look at Indiana as like, oh, that's an unbeatable basketball team. Like I don't look at their schedule until Michigan and be like, yeah, Michigan's probably, it's like Michigan's killing everybody right now, right?
Yeah.
So you look at this schedule, and
where does Kim Palm like Nebraska versus Purdue?
Purdue, they have that as a 4-point loss.
No, like the rankings. Where's Kim Palm like Purdue?
Oh, Purdue's 4th.
Okay, who's Purdue's best win for you?
Bama.
Bama better win than at Michigan State?
No, I don't think so. I think they're in the neighborhood, but
just for laughs and gigs, just for comps.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. And they obviously, Purdue has the loss where they got their head beat in at home against Iowa State, which Iowa State also pretty good.
Yeah, I think Iowa State's point differential is top 3 or 4 in the country, if that makes any sense. I think it's like plus 27.5.
Michigan's got to be close, right?
I think Michigan may be tops
because
Michigan's like 29.
Yeah,
it's 29.5.
It's dumb.
But there's somebody right there with Michigan too, and it escapes me just because. I mean, I just read and it somehow registers, but
yeah.
I don't know. Like I think you just have to prepare yourself and say, hey, you know what? Like this is a good basketball team. So the questions that come with it it's almost like you kind of have to respect it. Right? You have to be respectful of the program's prowess. But you can still know where Nebraska has come from.
Yes.
Historically.
Right.
So that balance is super delicate.
I do have a hard time I have a hard time with that balance because it's especially because where Nebraska's come from has nothing to do with the guys on this roster. Mm-hmm. So I struggle with that. We struggle with it with football too, when you're like, well, that bowl streak doesn't have really anything to do with us, but you could kind of see it weighing on guys last year and the year before, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, even though they weren't a part of most of that, it still kind of weighs on them. And then you've got this where and it's going to come up as we get closer and closer to the NCAA tournament, right?
What are you talking about, a tournament win?
Yes, getting a tournament win.
Yeah.
Right? That is the thing that sort of is going to be weighing on this team, because at this point, making the tournament, barring something totally unforeseen, knock on wood, is that's not a concern right now, right? Like, this is a top 4 seed currently in the NCAA tournament. So, like, it is really challenging because all of that history and all of those past failures, I think Rienk Mast was the only guy and Lawrence, right? Because he was there and then left and came back.
Yep.
Are the only guys on the roster that were even there for the last NCAA tournament. So, like, at the same time, it has nothing to do with most of these guys. And at the same time, it has everything to do with what this season is going to be viewed as. Like, that's a really weird spot to be in.
And so I think for them, I just like Coach Hoiberg's, just the prowess. I like how he goes about it. I mean, and I said this a couple years ago when people wanted him gone, and I said, listen, I clearly have a hard time being objective.
Yeah, you like him. That's
but I would like to see this thing take shape, because I like the things that he stood for, and he had to. We forget. I mean, his roster, his coaching staff wasn't set.
No, he got that thing turned over.
Yeah.
A lot.
And he did it a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on the patience. And remember, everybody was mad at Trev.
What did we say yesterday about coaching staffs?
3 years.
3-4 years. Okay.
Yeah, it
took about 3-4 years, didn't
it?
And where did he come from?
It took some tweaking.
He came from professional. Okay.
It took some tweaking. So, I think for him, I just like, I don't know. I went back and listened to about 4 of his pressers. And he is consistent with the message. He's almost giving you, hey, this is good. What's next?
Yeah.
Like you
don't get anything for being 15-0.
No.
Right?
I mean,
it's great.
It's
great.
It was interesting. I went back and listened to the Michigan State, and he's talking to KP, and he's like, and I think KP, because he's such a fan, looks at it like from a fan's standpoint. And he had asked Coach Hoiberg a couple of times about the signature moment of the Michigan win, and at one point, Hoiberg's like, "No, Kent, like it's fine. Like we got." That's how he said it. I was floored, but you could just tell.
Yeah.
Hey, I think our program's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it's the next thing. This is exactly what I don't want my guys to believe in. Like, because that should just be. You haven't done anything yet. This is a great feather.
Yes.
We're going to take it and we're going to move on. And he said, I asked him, hey, are we done yet?
Yeah.
Resounding no. Like,
absolutely not.
So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle each peg. Because as the wins keep coming without the losses, people will try to change what the storyline is.
Yeah.
It isn't for Nebraska. It can't be about being undefeated.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go undefeated.
No.
For them, it's about attacking the day in the game as its own individual entity.
And honestly, like
that's going to be for me. That's as a coach or as a player, I would embrace that from a gamification thing to see if I could stay right here.
Well, I'll say that's your personality too.
Yeah.
Is
can I stay right here?
Staying process oriented and sort of gamifying a challenge in front of you, right?
It's gonna be a fun phenomenon to watch.
And
I don't know if fun's the word. Fun for me.
I mean, no, I think it is fun to watch. Like this is the best Nebraska basketball team, at least through half a season of our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Of any of our lifetimes. It's the first time they've been in the top 10 in literally 60 years. And it is hot danger. I'm telling you, you don't even want them to go undefeated. Can I just be honest with you? Like that would be not good. I don't know if that's a hot take. That would be a bad thing. You want them to take their lumps and learn how to bounce back from those. Not a lot of them, but a handful.
Yeah.
You want a handful. By the way, Ken Palm has them at 25-6 now as his predicting finishing record.
Yeah, Whatever works.
That is a 25-6. If you going through the Big Ten would put you top 3 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I'm all in. Like I didn't transition, but I clearly paid attention to college basketball early, and I don't know if they're top 10. Maybe they are. They're certainly top 15, 16 right now for me.
I would agree.
Like I would agree. Like I don't have it safely top 20. So
yeah.
I just
you cannot name 20 basketball teams better than Nebraska.
I can't.
I think you have a hard time getting to 15.
And there's a couple teams I still want to know more about.
For sure.
You know,
I think we know more about this Nebraska team than we do a lot of other teams.
So I just want to, and I always hated this about football. I just don't. The better job they do of not every game being a referendum, the better the program's going to be.
I mean, basketball's past that, aren't they?
Because they've exceeded history. Now, I think it changes a little when you're starting to become your own benchmark.
Sure. Yeah. They haven't really.
I don't know how fast because they haven't done it long enough yet.
Yeah, they haven't. I mean,
but I think that's how you got to coach it.
They haven't really exceeded history until they get an NCAA tournament win, though, right? Like they've had good runs before, not 15-0, obviously, but they've had good stretches where
they've never been top 10.
Not in recent, but like they've been a ranked team. They've beaten really good teams. They've had good runs where they make multiple tournament bids over.
They've been top 10.
Yeah, that's right. I get it.
But pretty good.
Oh, absolutely it is. But I don't think it's so much. I don't know. For me, it's the ranking is nice. Obviously, it's nice validation for how other people view the program. But in terms of what they've achieved, I think at least in the Hoiberg era, they've gotten past the referendum thing.
Yeah.
Even without having gotten to the big elephant in the room, which is the NCAA tournament win, right?
Yeah. It's just
which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah. So just a fun
it's a fun team to watch.
Yeah. You see how Thornton drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I hate watching this game. I don't know why, but he just bugs me. He absolutely bugs me. He's usually tougher on Nebraska than that, but
there's guys like that. I mean, there's guys that are very, very good that I mean, borderline all-timers.
Yeah.
That I just don't like. And it's not, I'm not like poking holes in their resume.
Well, like
Jokic.
You're not a big gent guy? What?
It's Jokic.
Just basketball players.
Yeah.
You're looking at former Buckheads.
No, just basketball players in general. Like basketball is so weird in that, I mean, this is how you are with running backs.
Yeah.
If something just doesn't fit your eye, you're like, I don't care how good he is. He's not my guy.
Yeah.
I'm just out. That's the same thing. Like Jokic is the biggest I have no holes to poke in his resume. I just don't like watching him play basketball.
Yeah, statistically, it's incredible.
No, he's killing people.
Micah, he and Caleb were arguing yesterday. Micah said Jokic cheats at basketball. He said if he touches the ball anywhere within 10 feet of the rim, it's either a free throw, an assist, or somebody else gets a bucket. And I was like, oh, technically, maybe he gets an assist and somebody else.
No, you're exactly right.
Caleb goes, how's that cheating? Micah goes, it's just not right. It's just not right.
I mean, I've got some issues with the numbers because of like pace and the rest of the league and things like that. Like everybody's numbers are a little inflated right now.
Yeah.
Like Kobe scoring 35 a game in the mid 2000s is different than somebody scoring 30 a game now. Like that's a different deal.
Yeah, you see all the 50. I mean, Austin Reeves went for 50.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
no disrespect to
Devin Booker, but Devin Booker has a 70 burger on the books.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
It's hard to believe that we don't still.
Like,
well, we haven't really got into NBA. But
Jordan doesn't have a 70 burger on the books.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like,
remember Devin Booker's pretty good at basketball.
That's fine. He's not a more prolific scorer than Michael Jordan good at basketball.
I understand.
Like, come on now. So I have some. That's a different story for a different day. That
is.
TK taking a random pot shot at Burrow.
What? Joe
Burrow 2019 stats. Heard you say the word inflated.
Oh wow. How about Zach coming back? We good for him as a
Yeah, I'm former Husker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I thought he was in some trouble.
Yeah, Carol didn't survive my pop tire.
Carol, Carol, you popped tire yesterday?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right after we left?
Yeah, on the way home.
Oh, jeez.
Dunzo.
How'd that? Just run over something?
No, dodging. So the truck was coming into Restaurant Depot, and a couple things fell off the back. Yeah. So I went left, and yeah.
Was it like instant flat?
Yep.
I
so
didn't even know that could happen until it happened to me. I was like, oh, does this really happen? And it's like, boom, gone.
So I'm literally only 74 seconds away from my house.
Yeah.
So I get it there and
just kind of limp it home.
Lupe to the rescue.
Man, you owe that man some more tequila.
Oh, so I'm actually helping this time with the flat.
Yeah.
We're looking for the grooves, and he puts the donut on, and he's like, "Hey, you got anything I can sit on?" I pulled the cooler over. It's just two old guys sitting in the garage changing them. Well, actually, he was doing all the work, but yeah, I put a new one on.
How old is Lupe?
Lupe's probably, I'm gonna go 64.
Oh, for some reason I was picturing him younger.
Well, he's yoked and he's very clean. He's edged up. He's got a great gray goatee.
Yeah, he keeps it clean.
Yeah, and he's a good looking dude.
Yeah. For some reason in my head, I was always picturing him around my age.
Oh heck no.
He's older than you.
Yeah.
Oh man, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Lupe's staying after it.
Yeah, Lupe. I'm telling you, man, the dude hits the heavy bag in the garage. He's inked up. Yeah, Lupe don't play. Raiders fan. Lupe looks like a Raiders fan.
That makes sense.
No, yeah, he looks like Raider fan. I saw 78 Lupes in one tent outside of Legion.
So
in Vegas.
Lupe and I could hang out.
Yeah. You know what he said? He's doing he's talking. So he's working.
Mm-hmm.
He's teaching me too. He's like, hey, you have to line this lug nut. This is the one that you have to lock, and it goes this way. You see, it has the little flat deal, and so we're
he's helping you out.
Yeah, it's like father-son moment.
Yeah,
and
little tutorial.
And he looks up, and he's a huge Nebraska fan.
Mm-hmm.
Lupe's so. We'll text back and forth about games, right? So we were arguing about Creighton the other night. He's like, "Oh, Creighton's gonna get it done." I don't know, and we're just going back and forth. Or he was huge, thinking Nebraska was gonna win against Michigan State. So this is gonna be tough, Lupe.
Yeah,
so, we're texting at the very end. He's like, "Told you." So he's doing the thing on the tire, and he goes, "Hey." He goes, "Who's the new guy you guys use sometimes with the mohawk? Who's the white guy with the mohawk?"
Oh,
I was like, "Huh?"
He's talking about.
He goes,
Austin.
Hey, he was on for you Friday. My dumb butt. I was like, "Oh, Jimmy Neutron? Oh, that's Austin." And he goes, and he has grandbabies.
Yeah.
So he laughed at Jimmy Neutron. I was like, it was just funny how he said it. Because he's working, laying on his side, and he just looks up. Man, who's the guy with the mohawk?
I never would have called it a mohawk, but I get what he meant.
Yeah. He wanted to ask me if he did it on purpose. But his grandson, I told you, so Lupe going all the way back to the Lupe fiasco stories.
Mm-hmm.
Lupe's the guy that controlled his grandkids with a whistle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're they look like they can be a handful.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 under 8, 9.
That's a lot going on.
I mean, they're on these little motorized vehicles. Remember, Shane, they had the Mohawk helmets, the helmets with Mohawks?
Yeah.
And they were getting too far ahead of him, and my man was like, I mean, they froze. I said, "Oh yeah, Lupe don't play."
That's how my mom was when I was a kid. It was a snap though. If she snapped, it was just like, "What's up? What's going on?"
So, the garage didn't shut.
Oh, Lupe says he's 71. Good on you, Lupe.
Is Lupe listening?
I think so. There's some guy named Lupe that just said 71. I assume it's him.
Oh, so I was low.
Man.
What's up, buddy?
Good for you, man.
Yeah, that's my dude. That is Lupe is a Raiders fan.
He says, my second kid is being born in March. If we win a tourney game, do I name him Fred Hoiberg? You got to at least give him Frederick middle name is a must.
That's wild.
Frederick middle name's a must.
So got the garage fixed with his buddy.
Oh, yeah.
That cost me $125.
Dude, that's not bad.
The tire yesterday was, I got 10% discount. It was $201. $201.28.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a guy because it has a little scuff mark.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, I got a guy. He can buff that out for you. He's mobile. I'll send you his number.
Unlike the hubcap?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's like, yeah, I'll send you his number when I get home.
Does he want to fix my
So, I'm at Tires Plus and we're just doing, by the way, I mean, there's no free advertisement. I text his buddy. He's like, hey, just take a couple of pictures. He's like, yeah, no problem. It'd be, $60 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How about Wednesday at 10? I was like, oh, I got to do the show after. I'm like, man, you talk about, I used to be the guy that's got a guy. I'm keeping all these guys in the stable.
Yeah.
Every last one. And they work quick.
Now you just got a guy that's got all the
And
guys.
now I'm spoiled because I'm getting within 48 hours, sir. I mean, Lupe was at my house in 10 minutes.
Dude, it's nice.
He had his grandbaby home. He's like, oh, you want to bring Zoe down? We can have some tequila. I was like, 1 o'clock, day drinking.
Hey, that's the sequence.
Could I take her down there or not? I better not. It took some discipline.
I was going to say.
No, Lupe gets zero cares.
Interior battle there.
Oh, it was tough.
He's 71, man. He's done caring.
His best life.
He's done caring.
He's like, yeah, I'll come back this weekend, get those Christmas lights taken down.
Man, he's taking care of you.
It's my dude.
Taking good care.
I know, man. No, I got no problems with old Fiasco.
Oh, man. We love Lupe. Appreciate you chiming in the chat, Lupe.
The basketball, at 71, he looks sensational.
Man.
I'm telling you, he's yoked.
The funny, also, when you're hitting a heavy bag.
Did I tell you the crabgrass story? Lupe has no crabgrass.
Huh.
And I was pretty pissy about crabgrass last year, and I was going back and forth with Sauter about how to get rid of crabgrass. Lupe is like, I joked. I went into character. I was like, he's like, at this day you do this, and then yeah. That's Lupe. Yeah, Lupe has no crabgrass.
Rico says Lupe sounds like we would be friends. I think you guys might have some things in common.
I don't know. So here's the thing, Suave. Lupe's funny. Mm-hmm. He's not super sarcastic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Suave may have to rein it in.
Puerto thinks everybody is friends with him. Everybody.
Well, I could see that. His
default.
He carries himself with some joy.
Yeah, he's a gregarious type
even
of
when he
personality.
Drives me crazy, which most times is about me. It's not anything outward.
Yeah,
I still think he's harmless.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That'll be the type of guy you wake up and you're missing one arm. What happened?
I got you.
Yeah, we would be cuffed. We'd both be in trouble. We'd be cuffed together, and he's the guy that would cut my arm off so he could get free.
Yeah,
that would be him.
That'd definitely be Austin.
Well, he comes across as selfish, though.
Austin's chopping that arm off. He's like, I'm out.
Listen, Austin rides for AJ. Yeah, I don't have any problem seeing through that. I don't have any. I mean, it's like Austin's kind of one of those guys. It's like, all right, well, where's this going to get me? Beneficial? Cool, I'm in. Make it right.
Amazing Daniel says, nobody likes sarcastic people. Okay, Daniel.
Yeah, so he's one of the few guys.
Yeah.
I didn't get a Steelers text from him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shoot, Keith Mann was up. Keith Mann and I were going back and forth about the Steelers forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I told you, it's 2 inches from my television.
Just right up here.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man.
Is that why you got the new readers? You're like, I got to do that better than this?
So I got these in Vegas. I did a lot of walking. These came from, I don't know, New World Market maybe or something.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about those thick ones in the burlap sack that I got?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty bummed. They're $18, so but between all the impromptu repairs, I'm broke.
What's the
These, like this?
what do we got here? It feels like that is nice.
Yeah,
It kind of looks like a koozie.
I have one of those.
I see that. You got a Las Vegas Bowl koozie.
From this miserable bowl game.
This looks like one of the koozies you use for one of my seltzers. It's a little taller,
For seltzers.
Yeah, for some of my seltzers,
That has a word. It's fine. I'm not going to judge you.
Hard seltzers?
Is
that the word?
I'm not even going to judge you. You knock yourself out. So apparently Lupe's going to be famous again. Lupe's been a day oneer.
Oh yeah, he's
So I used to talk about him all the time.
Oh, so that's your guy. You've talked about him quite a bit in the past.
Yeah, so I didn't know he was in the so both my neighbors are in the chat. Let's go.
Daniel says I don't text after a certain number of beverages, and that game drove a lot of them.
So I didn't feel like I don't know what this is that I have, but I can't really shake it yet. So
I've
chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was surprised how much you were texting us during the game.
So I needed I had to burn the house down. You don't understand. In the precursor is when we were in Vegas. So Keith Mann and it was super chaotic for the network. I told you, me, Jess, Brandon, and Kirk.
Yeah.
And so it was very stressful during parts of practice to get everything synchronized the first 3 days. So Sunday, I was about at wit's end.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed some downtime. So I go on the opposite bleacher. I didn't even go up in the observatory. I went on the opposite bleacher. And my man Alex was over there. But Alex, he works so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
Raharik, he does a lot of this heat, man. Shane, you think you're picky about editing? You gotta see my man A-Train. He is the goat. But
pretty picky.
Yes. But that's why he's legit. But anyway, so he's the only one sitting over there. I was like, this is not gonna be too bad.
Yeah.
I can watch the game. So my man Keith comes over. He's looking at his phone. I'm like, what? He's usually pretty busy. What's he doing?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. The Brown? I said, Keith, you watching the game too? Come sit down. So we literally we're 25 feet from each other, but we're both watching the Cleveland. We get back on the bus. They're going to the Giants game. We're texting about the Steelers. So we were just mad that they were in that position to have to play the Ravens.
In the first place, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, if you can't beat the Browns to clinch a spot, and we both had resigned ourselves. We're like, we're 1-7-1 the last 9 against the Browns. He goes, yeah, but we're 9-3 the last 12 against the Ravens. And I was like, crack statistician, attaboy, give me hope. But I don't know if either one of us thought we were going to win Sunday.
Certainly not like that.
No. No.
Although speaking of mixed extra points and missed field goals
last night,
that FCS game last night was wild,
sensational. Hey, shout out Illinois State because Montana State is a wagon.
Well, they upset NDSU to start this thing,
wagon,
and they were just running through teams as an underdog.
I love the
FCS tournament's incredible.
Yeah, it's
it's incredible.
I love it.
I don't watch a ton of FCS football throughout the year, but like the playoffs are incredibly well done.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Anthony.
Also at SDSU.
Yeah, because they're gonna make a run.
Absolutely. I also
no pressure, DJ. No pressure.
I also
that's a long tournament.
So it's like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
it's a long deal. I also got to give shout out to the Illinois State quarterback. He was like testing his blood sugar on the sideline, like ripping insulin shots.
You're like,
that's my guy.
Yeah, I thought listen. If the store was open or you could order, would you have rocked some Illinois State?
Oh, gear? If I could have found a jersey, I'd have given him a little NIL money. Number 11 for the Redbirds. Let's go.
Speaking of which, did you see the D3 cross country guy? He's basically an Olympian. He's got Olympic level times.
Mm-mm.
And I can't hear. I got to remember his name, but he couldn't afford to go to school because he worked the graveyard shift. Then he would go run. Then he'd go to school. Then he worked the graveyard shift.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't making enough money to go to school. So, and I'll get to school here in a second. But the gist of the story is they did a GoFundMe for him, like the community, because he's an elite level runner, and raised, I don't know, whatever it was, $6,000, $6,500, whatever, right? Paid for his tuition. NCAA tries to rule him ineligible because the GoFundMe account wasn't legitimized. And I'm like, you got people bidding on players. You have tampering. You have the whole nine. And you're mad
about a $6,500 D3
that they raised
GoFundMe?
money for this guy?
I swear to God, man.
Like, I was like, huh.
You got guys that were dead ass drafted in the NBA draft.
Oh, boy.
Committing to Baylor or whoever. It's not just a Baylor thing. I don't want to throw Baylor under the bus. But you got guys that are actively having played in the G League, trying to figure out a way to get back to college. Yeah. And the NCAA is like, well, what are we going to do?
Because the players know that somebody's going to pay them.
And the players also know that is the second they sue the NCAA, they will cave. Yep. Because the NCAA has been getting their head kicked in on lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, and they're going to continue to get their head kicked in on lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, because nothing they've done for the last 100 years is actually legal.
I know.
Like, that's the part we sort of glaze over with the NCAA, is the reason they're letting, the Fedor Zugic's of the world and the entire Illinois roster and now these guys in the G League that have been drafted. The reason that that's happening is because the NCAA can't afford more lawsuits.
You are the reason. Who was that guy?
Hoobastank? Hot Danger, there's no scholarships at D3. He was a D3 guy.
Who sings that song?
I don't even know what song you're singing.
No, I'm past that.
It's You Are the Reason.
I don't know.
You want me to Google this for you?
Yep, because it's going to drive me
bananas.
What?
What?
It's going to drive you bananas not knowing what it is?
I would never use that stupid term.
I've got a Callum Scott.
That's it.
Okay.
Drive me bananas? Does that even remotely sound like anything I would say?
It doesn't sound like remotely anything that any human would ever say.
Drive you bananas?
That drives me bananas.
Do you feel better, Shane? I think you gave me the ick. But unlike you, it doesn't change my mood. You were Timmy Crabapple yesterday.
Yeah, I was Timmy Crabapple.
He said, "Yeah,
Captain, man, I'm not doing this today."
What are we talking about?
Either make an allegation, shut up, or you're getting blocked.
What happened?
Move on.
What are we doing?
So
I can't read. Man.
He just keeps bringing up Sandusky in relation to anybody.
He's pushing your he's not usually like that.
Like, either make an allegation or stop doing this.
Oh, boy. Come on, Cappy.
Like, and then Texan DB is not going to save you this time.
Juan, karaoke.
Like, we're not doing this anymore.
Right.
If you have something to say, say it. Otherwise, just knock it off.
All right, let's chill, Cappy. Let's chill. That's a guy moment. Let's chill.
Captain, what's your point?
Hey.
What's your point?
Hey.
Make an allegation or stop doing this.
Hey.
I would rather talk about DJ Lagway, future Nebraska quarterback.
If that's the case, we're in trouble. Hey, JD, we're going to get to wrestling this week, I promise you.
The number of people that tag me in those posts is astronomical.
Lagway?
In like the I think Husker Online reported that that's a name that they're hearing, along with Childs and Calandra. I don't know how to pronounce it. Calandrea, yeah. And so
that's everybody's name. We're so this groupthink thing is funny. But anywho.
But I got tagged in that a million times because they're just like, Ravi, you good?
this whole
So no, I'm not good.
So like I said, I can make anything competitive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I never, ever, 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 ever thought nobody cares, I don't think, on their end, because nobody's really clamoring to hang out with me. It's gonna test my friendships.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It is. The level of pettiness and seeming joy people get from struggling is mind-boggling.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm floored.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe this is who you really are.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
So this whole, watching the struggles and there's all these kind of like misconceptions too, and maybe some people are just being funny and snarky or they just enjoy being miserable, and like to each their own. But I am a little taken aback. It's just like, man, I think I misread this.
Well, so you know what it is. I think personally, I think there's a certain camp of people that have decided that they're out on this coaching staff, and so anything negative that happens, they like being right.
Oh,
it's the same thing I was doing with DJ Lagway. If I'm being honest, like, I'm not above it. I don't personally feel like,
and I hate that too.
Yeah, I know you do, but I think it's fun.
It's probably just more. Maybe that's why I spend so much time by myself.
But like, I'm obviously not.
I can do bad all by myself.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need any help being miserable.
But like, when DJ Lagway is throwing 5 interceptions against LSU, like, I'm having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying myself immensely.
Yeah.
So like, I have a hard time imagining, if you actually care about a place in a program, feeling that way. I didn't even want to be right about Scott Frost. I didn't.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I know you tell.
Even like, that we've had
like
that conversation.
You said I would never.
I would never root against the program.
Or I remember one. This was probably 19, maybe. It was right before COVID, and you were like, "I've never wanted to be so wrong about something."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You being serious?"
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
100%.
Yeah. And it's like we make up stuff to fit the narrative. Like, the whole Minchey thing is driving me crazy. Right? It's like, oh, what's he doing? And I'm learning as I kind of watch more from afar with the sarcasm and the stuff. I mean, they would be the same people that, if Nebraska came and had the opportunity, because they don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
They're just whatever.
Yeah.
If Nebraska were to say, all right, Minch, well, how about 2.5? And it didn't work out, we'd be the same people that bitched about
how much
paying $2.5 million for a
backup
that never started.
Yeah, that's had 66 pass attempts in career.
So it's just, I'm like, man, this is gonna drive me into like a hole.
It's gonna be. I mean, listen, it's gonna be a long off season. Like, it just is.
And it's everything that I didn't want to, because remember I was like, Nebraska needs a quiet off season.
Yeah,
just to.
It is not. That's not gonna be the case.
Well, inherently, I'm not naive.
Yeah.
So once the dust settles with the portal, it's fine. But we act like we just didn't go through this a year ago.
Yeah.
Right? And then Key comes around, and then, then there's Pritchett, and there's Spindler, and
I'll say the people that were mad about Pritchett's dollar amount got real quiet at the end of the year.
You just have to, like, well, how come it just can't? Is it not fun to not let it play out? Because we certainly don't.
We certainly don't know.
99.99% of the people don't know anything that happened with Minchey.
Yeah.
They don't.
There's a lot of guesses.
So it's like,
I think I think it's easier to guess how it flipped from the Kentucky side.
I mean, I could understand being out on college sports way more than I could understand being out on Nebraska.
Yeah. I had people text me yesterday that is just like, not just yesterday, but when I alluded to it earlier with the Baylor guys,
Jose Bueno,
and that kind of stuff, with like, people just text me and they're just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I get that. I understand that sentiment 100%. Like, it is, that's not where I'm at, because I love college sports and I love watching it, and I think it will start to settle down at some point. I hopefully sooner rather than later, but I don't know that. I don't understand. Like if you're one of the people, and I think a lot of people got to this point with the Dylan situation, right? And you're one of the people that said, hey, we were paying that guy too much for what we were getting, and we should spend that money other places, right? Then you can't be mad that, in my opinion, I legitimately don't know. In my opinion, that's also sort of what played out with Minchey, in the fact that, like, it seems like Nebraska was comfortable at a number.
Now, I will say this. I'll tell you one part that did catch me off guard, especially being relatively close to this.
Yeah.
Early on, it was about the opportunity to win.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about the Corvette reference?
No.
Okay. So I can't, but I was like, hey, you just have to this was kind of setting the stage for what it would take.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, the dollar figure was separate. It was program trajectory with somebody that only had 2 years left.
Yeah.
So winning, the ability to win really seemed at the forefront.
Mm-hmm. Which I imagine was very desirable to the Nebraska coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing they were looking for, I would imagine.
Yeah. Because I think, for them, they have to be careful. Because if you listen to 85% of the people that talk, because a lot of times people that support you aren't saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's you hear from the people that aren't.
Absolutely.
So whether Nebraska wins 4 games or 9 games or 7 games or whatever they win next year, they can't be influenced by the noise.
Yeah.
So that's you just can't you can't run a business like that. You can't run a football team like that.
You can't
run
function
basketball.
like that.
You just can't function
yeah.
like that. So I think for them, they've got to hunker down and they have to focus on getting people in the program that have noise canceling headphones too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't tell you how important that is.
Yeah.
Because so many of the other good things, like the infrastructure in the building, are in place. And I said this, I don't know, a while ago. You need a few more different people in the building. But the infrastructure of the business is really good. I think the discipline is good. You don't have any off the field issues. Guys going to class. And I get it, that's hokey. But we hired somebody that's important to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we knew it was important to it when we hired him.
So, like, you have to kind of take what comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, the biggest thing that they can control, because I said this all along, and I believe this to be the case, especially knowing some people that, like, have the opportunity to come to school there and are thinking about coming to school there. NIL isn't really the problem or the transfer portal. Nebraska has to win. Right? So if Nebraska has 9 wins and not 3 consecutive losses, managing the portal,
we're having a different conversation,
is easier.
Yeah, we're having a different conversation.
But what happens is because people want to be I'm not even going to blame it on them. I'm better than that. Doesn't have anything to do with people's opinions. So what's happened is we make it about a lot of other things than what it really is. It's not about how much money Nebraska has or doesn't have. It's not about who they're necessarily targeting in the portal. It's they haven't put themselves in position to be an attractable enough school to be in the conversation with some guys that just want to get paid. Because you have to understand, maybe you don't, how you navigate, this is just my Irish Spring moment for a second. I'm a big Irish Spring guy. How you watch what's happening in the portal and movement and NIL has a lot to do with life life experiences.
Okay.
I wanted to say maturity, but there are some. It's about life experiences. Mm-hmm. So if you've been through some things in life, you understand how the portal works. You understand greed. You understand backdoor deals. You understand being opportunistic. You understand, getting while the getting is good. You
understand money versus situation.
You understand. Yeah. If you've left money on the table for peace of mind, you understand that. If you've played it safe in your life, you have a different vantage point of how you look at the portal and the freedom of movement. So I think a lot of times people's opinion, when we want to get mad about how other people do their job, I think it's because we want them to think like we do. I'm past that. I'm interested in I'm watching how people process what's going on because I want to know what I'm dealing with. So that's just on a personal level. But if you're watching what's happening with a team that you allegedly cheer for, it's about your life experiences.
Yeah.
It is. If it's just interesting, like people that have strong opinions that need to be right versus wanting to get it right, or I told you so's, or even sometimes with me where I'm super weak or just kind of soft about, well, they kind of think how they want to. Like do you know where that shows up in my life? Like I've been a guy that's been ran over before, right? So all one thing isn't good or bad. Yeah, like I'm just saying whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like
it'll manifest itself in how you think about the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you think I haven't been taken advantage of?
Sure.
Yeah. You also think I haven't manipulated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
it's the thing I get mad at you for is like, hey, DB, don't let people do that to you.
Yeah.
Or don't let people talk to you like that.
But in return, because I haven't processed it well enough, then sometimes I'll go out of my way to be the manipulator. Right. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make amends for whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody asked me how I feel. I'm going to bury this. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, that is not about me. The how you view this thing is how people are covering it.
Yeah.
So you get a snapshot into their personality or their life experience. Because sometimes I just think people are being disingenuous. And but that's probably kind of how they've gotten to where they've got, right? I think some people are, it just, whatever it is it's about.
It's a byproduct of your life situations.
Yeah.
I think
because if you want to bury Nebraska over, like how the Minchey thing fell out, you can, because the optics
of it, I think, are worse than the actual situation.
But why?
Because
I heard this a lot last night.
So the reason I think, because I think the actual situation is not that bad, because we're talking about a guy who's never started, who has thrown 66 career passes in college that we like, but he's a huge unknown, right?
Yeah.
We really don't know anything about Kenny Minchey as a college quarterback. So that's why I don't think the actual situation is that bad. The reason I think the optics are bad for some people is because you look at it and you go, Nebraska just got beat out for a recruit by Kentucky. It feels like either Nebraska got outbid or he thought Kentucky was a better situation. So that's why we feel like the optics are bad, because we don't think we should be in the same conversation as Kentucky. They just fired their coach, whatever, right? So that's why I think there is a disparity between optics and reality in this situation.
For instance, my man Vector. I kind of like the name. Only because I'm a big Despicable Me guy. He says, we are paying more for our GM and scouting department than a lot of programs. Need to see that money well spent. Why? And how do you know that, number one?
How do you know that we just didn't catch up to everybody else?
Yeah. So it's just weird, like when we say things like that.
Yeah, where's the information coming from? We assume, because now we're spending more money than we used to on this, that we're spending more money than everybody else.
Let's say Nebraska's gym and recruiting staff is, pick a number, $2 million.
Sure.
Easy number, right?
Yeah.
How do you?
I have no idea.
How do you know that that's more than what programs? Is it more than Michigan? Is it more than Ohio State? Is it more than Oregon? Is it more than Georgia? Is it more than Bama? Is it more than Iowa?
More than Texas?
Is it more than Texas? Is it more than Texas Tech? Why do I don't know why we say things like this, except for it validates what we like.
Jordan, yes, I think it is that simple.
What's the question?
He said, "Is it as simple as Kentucky said you're the starter and Nebraska said you have to win the job?" I think it is possible that it is that simple.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it is very. If I had to guess,
so here's the thing.
That is what I would guess.
Let's not just make this about Minchey. He's part of
a larger,
the larger
100%.
story. Because you have to understand how we got here.
Yeah.
How you got here is you haven't been good enough.
Yes.
Right? So what you have to negotiate is the ability to continue to develop and grow the program and make it an attractive place to be while listening to people critique how you're going about your business. I have no idea how many games they're going to win. I don't.
No one does.
I don't know if it's going to be super successful or this thing is going to crash and burn in 2 years. There are people that have their mind made up on one or the other, and it's easier. It's much safer because history is on your side to say this isn't going to work. So if you rest in that, that's the vantage point. I don't have any problems with that. I don't. The difference, the real discussion is you have to understand that those are just opinions. And if Nebraska has to thinsulate themselves and say, I have to dial in. We get distracted by a lot of different things. We have so many people in so many places. We need to just lock it down. Just go to work. If you just go to work, it doesn't guarantee anything except you're putting its best practices.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It only guarantees that it's best practices. You're not saying that you're rolling out of the rack to win 8, 9, 10 games. So you have to stay committed to the process. If you believe in your processes, you cannot be distracted. That includes the people that you bring in and what you're willing to bring them in for. Because you found yourself compromising a couple of other times. How'd that work out for you?
It hasn't.
It hasn't. So the whole process is fascinating to watch. The Minchey thing definitely caught me off guard a little because excuse me, with 2 years to play, obviously the starting job and money matter.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be the guy.
You've only got 2 years left. Like, he obviously wants to accomplish some
and
things.
you're going to pay me.
Yeah.
I think
most of us would make that deal.
Right.
Like, we just would.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and I think he, from what I know, he's competitive enough to think that he can help that program.
Sure.
Now, I don't know how many wins Kentucky's going to get, but if I'm the starter and I'm getting paid, he's going to figure out how much it takes to make me happy or miserable.
Yeah.
Because everybody figures that out in life, right?
There's a number.
There's a number
a lot of us
that you're willing to be miserable for.
Yeah.
Most of us just haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
Right? But a lot of us have been to a place where we know what makes us happy.
Yes.
It's based on how your experiences on how you view it.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So
Shane's the one playing the music. It's your show.
A lot of people have talked about, like, well, then why does he say we have unlimited money? Not unlimited, but why do we said money's not an issue anymore, things like that? Can two things be true at once? Number one, that you have much more money than you did previously to go shopping.
Yeah.
And two, the person or people providing that money also expect a certain amount of A, fiscal responsibility, and B, at some point there's got to be a return on investment, right?
Here's the thing with that. Like, I'm not going to tell the people that keep saying that to stop saying it. They're doing it for a reason. I said this from the jump, and it's how normal, good fiscal spenders are. Just because you have it doesn't make it a good idea to spend it. It has to fit with what your lifestyle is. I'm going to say that again. Just because you have it doesn't make it a good idea to spend it. Just depends on what your desired outcome is for your lifestyle. So, for example, if Nebraska's coaching staff and this development department, if they're trying to build a competitive culture to put themselves in position to win more games, it's just as a general mission statement, that's how you're going to spend your money. Problem is we try to give it a dollar value. Well, that should be worth $3 million. Okay, if what I'm spending that $3 million on, that particular individual, does he fit that mission statement that I just read? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But you can't just spend to be spending. You don't want, I don't think you want people spending your money like that.
Correct. I would agree.
I think people that do well money-wise understand the whole value versus worth thing. Or needs versus wants. It's okay for people to say, I'm not even going to judge you. I'm not. I swear to goodness. Well, what happened to all the money? Those people, they're just like that for a reason. Well, what happened to all the money he's talking about? How much would you pay a guy that hasn't started before?
That's a good question.
No,
it is a good question. It's a good question.
How much would you pay a guy that hasn't started before?
Versus how much would you pay a guy that
and I would say this for
has 3 years starting as a guard?
I mean Stein's got history
of coaching quarterbacks well.
More recent history of quarterback development.
Yeah.
If you pit it against Holgerson's history versus recent, advantage Stein. That's just the way that it goes.
Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel.
So can I go back to something else?
Dante Moore. Yeah.
Nebraska, you have to find a way. It's the chicken or the egg. It's easy for me to say. It's simple for me to say Nebraska needs to win more games. Simple, right? You win more games, or if Dylan looked better under their watch, you'd be more inclined to believe the development piece.
Sure.
Right? That's the part that Nebraska can control. And maybe it takes another year or two, and Lord knows we don't want to hear that.
No.
But I'm just saying they can't skip the steps now because they've already made part of their bed. Doesn't mean they have to lie in it though. That's the difference. Nebraska's made a portion of their bed. They don't have to lie in it yet though. That's where the fandom and the critiquing versus actually being in it. Because if Nebraska just rested in being bad, we wouldn't want that either.
Certainly not.
Right? And they know that they haven't met expectations. That's not a secret.
Yeah.
But they can't. We fans, listen.
You can do whatever you want.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, or if you want to eat the meat and spit out the bones, that's cool too. They're not afforded that luxury.
Yeah.
They still have to try to do their job.
Yeah, they still have to go to work.
And they know they're not above reproach. They can be critiqued for doing it. I'm just saying how you view it probably depends a lot on your life experience.
Let's take a quick break. We're going to get to Brett Ciancia of Pick 6 Previews coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Listen, we got out-rebounded by 14. I thought we did a hell of a job in that first half where you really needed to go out and set the tone. I think they had 2 at halftime, and I thought our transition defense was exceptional, and we never took the wrong path chasing down a rebound that we couldn't get. This is the best defensive rebounding team in the country, and we were dead if we were going to chase balls down. So, I thought our guys really followed the game plan, and those were the keys. We had 2 of them tonight. It was get back and rebound, and I said it about 1,000 times in the last 3 days. Not very often are you going to win a game when you shoot under 25% in the second half against a top 10 team. But I thought our activity on the defensive end, 19 turnovers is what we forced. They take really good care of the basketball. And that was the difference, was finding a way to manufacture some points. Price unfortunately got in foul trouble. We hung in there without him, and we're even at the break. We felt pretty good about that. And then he picks up his fourth with about 10 to go. And again, we hung in there, but knew they would make a run. We got up 9. Talked to Braden about the incident. That can't happen.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Now, the owner of Pick 6 Previews, Brett Ciancia.
And a pass is picked off. Pick 6. Pick 6 to the checkerboard end zone.
Pick 6 Previews, the #1 most accurate college football preview.
Go, big man, go! It's a Pick 6.
Pick 6 Previews with Brett Ciancia.
Pick 6.
Pick 6. Give me all of them.
Here is Brett Ciancia.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That is DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews. Brett, appreciate you joining us this morning. How you doing?
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on. Exciting quarterfinal round, big Final Four coming up. Can't wait to break it down with you guys.
Hey, so it's interesting. I asked you this was last week, because we took a little time off. When I said, hey, is it weird that Miami can make the case that they've got at any point the best offensive and defensive player on the field? And we kind of hem-hawed around over that. Are we now, or is Cristobal now past the the coaching portion when we look at Miami?
Oh, yeah, he certainly proved himself. And the one thing I've always said he can do is he can build offensive lines. He's an offensive lineman in the past, and that's his expertise. He knew they were going to get good offensive line play. But what really surprised me this cycle in the transfer portal was the way he upgraded his defensive line. Now you have a full team here. His talent acquisition, his recruiting has always been strong. His offensive line development's been strong. But this year they took that next step. They rebuilt the defense. And then now all the game management stuff that people have given him flack for over the years, he's put all that to rest, being able to, go on this playoff run, going into Kyle Field and then beating the prohibitive favorite Ohio State, defending national champs Ohio State, with his defense mostly too. Really impressive Miami, and there they go to the Final Four.
How do you feel about how they've sort of dealt with, sounds too negative, but handled Carson Beck's role on this team, considering some of their other strengths, and they don't necessarily need him to be a superhero?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They don't need him to be the hero here. And it's a contrast to what you have with Ole Miss, who they're playing is Ole Miss. They need Trinidad Chambliss to be the guy. They need him to go out, get 350 passing yards, 100 rushing yards, make those crazy scramble plays that he pulled off against Georgia. So Ole Miss is reliant on Chambliss to be the guy. With Miami, they don't need so much of that from Beck. They just need him to stay ahead of the chains, which they did, and then convert third downs. And they were really efficient with that, Ohio State couldn't get them into second and longs or third and longs. They were always ahead of the chains. And then when push came to shove on 3rd and 4, Miami kept getting it. So he has just enough mobility, just enough poise to get those 3rd and shorts, and he did everything they asked of them.
So when you're kind of looking at, I want to look at the other side of the coin. Were with Miami better than you thought? Were you disappointed in Ohio State? Their fan base is certainly livid, and maybe understandably so. What was it more about Miami for you, or more about Ohio State?
More about Ohio State, honestly. I think that Miami proved themselves when they beat Notre Dame in week 1, and I thought they proved themselves against Texas A&M. I thought they proved that they were a legit top 10, maybe even top 6 team in the country. I thought they were there. With Ohio State, I thought they were by far and away the number 1 team. They were 12-0 coming into the postseason, riding that huge playoff run from last year. You talk about they had the Heisman candidate with Say, a quarterback, 2 of the best receivers in the country, experienced O-line. And then the defense had 4 All-Americans. No one else even had more than 2. So throughout that game, I kept thinking, where's this All-American defense? Where are these playmakers? Who's going to make the big play? They needed a momentum shift, and they never really got it. They needed a key 3rd down stop, couldn't get it. So that was the bigger storyline to me, is just where was Ohio State's playmaking defense, and where was their killer instinct on offense? You look back at some of the quarterbacks they've had over the years, some great pros, some good Heisman candidates, but some of them never won titles. The guys that won titles for Ohio State, Craig Krenzel, Cardale Jones, Will Howard, these guys just had killer instinct on 3rd downs and in the 4th quarter and in the red zone, just like a different aptitude that some of these quarterbacks didn't have for Ohio State.
It kind of is funny. Like when you go off the list there, it sort of is funny about all the high-profile, great quarterbacks that have come through Ohio State versus the ones that have actually won the national titles there. Like, it's a little amusing to me. But I wanted to ask you, were you more surprised by that result, Miami beating Ohio State, and in the fashion they did, or just how dominant Indiana looked against Alabama? Because, like, obviously we know Indiana's great, but they did to Alabama what Alabama used to do to everybody else, and that was sort of a weird, bizarro world moment for me.
Yeah, that was almost like a changing of the guard, like the old world, the Saban dynasty, all of that. When I launched Pick Six Previews, it was 2012, and back then it was the peak of the Saban dynasty. They were winning national title after national title. And on the flip side, Indiana, you would just pencil them in towards the bottom of the Big Ten every year. The Big Ten leaders division, the Big Ten East, they were just the easy pick to throw at the bottom. So it's crazy how 14 years later, how that has shifted. But, yeah, they flexed on them. And, guys, we've seen Indiana do this to teams in the Big Ten. We see them do it against some non-conference teams, but usually the bottom of the barrel teams. They would really flex on them. But to see them do that to Alabama, who is well-stocked with 5 stars, future pros, all-conference guys, that was shocking. So, yeah, my hat's off to Indiana and Cignetti. He put that whole bye week curse to bed. I mean, he threw that out the window and was like, we're the more physical team, we're the better team. And I thought we learned a lot about them late in the game when they kept showing him on the sideline. They were up by 35 points. He was still laser focused and trying to get every inch, every yard out of this team. So that reminded me of Saban, to bring it full circle. That was a very Saban moment there. So huge win for Indiana, probably their biggest day in program history.
Kind of all a little bit affiliated with Saban to some degree. Let me take a step back for a little bit. And if you're looking for program trajectory of those teams that are right there, where would you push your chips towards? Texas?
Oh, okay.
Texas, Alabama, or Notre Dame? Similar spots for their programs going forward. Texas, Alabama, Notre Dame.
Man, I wish you would have thrown Oregon into that debate, because I would have picked Oregon.
I know where Oregon's sitting.
You already see that one going the right way. I hear you. I'll go with Texas. I just think that if you're going over the long term, the long scale of recruiting, I think that they're going to have the bigger resources. They have the location. I know Alabama went under a great hot streak of recruiting under Nick Saban, probably the best run ever in talent acquisition. But now that the playing field has been leveled, some of the old tricks don't work. Now it's all about huge alumni bases, huge NIL funds. I think if you have to look at it there, I'd probably lean Texas. Notre Dame's a different category. They're always going to have this competent, hard-nosed team under Marcus Freeman, and they do have some clauses in the new contract where they're guaranteed a spot if they finish in the top 12. So, they're going to have some playoff access, an easier schedule to get there. But I think that of those three, Texas is probably your biggest chance for a powerhouse dynasty.
Brett, sorry, I just got sidetracked by your Notre Dame comment there.
That's interesting.
We'll get back to the playoff there in a second, because I'm just having a hard time figuring out why the rest of the college football playoff world and decision makers continue to, I guess, acquiesce to Notre Dame's whims. Like I understood from the TV network part, and I guess maybe that's it. But if you're the SEC commissioner or the Big Ten commissioner or any other commissioner for that matter, why does it make sense for you to carve out spots for Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's a great point. I have no clue. I mean, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some of these discussions they have behind closed doors, the commissioners and the networks. And they must have some kind of leverage in there. It's interesting. What I would really like to happen is see them cut out this ACC contract they have, where it's like they play 5 ACCs a year or 6 a year, because most of these are against empty stadiums. They're playing Wake Forest, they're playing Duke. There's just no juice to it. I want to see them get back to their old traditional schedule. If you're going to go traditional, lean all the way into it. Bring back the Megaphone Trophy with Michigan State. Go play Michigan every year. Lock in the USC. Get that whole thing fixed. Navy, Indiana, even for an in-state game, Purdue. So I want to see them lean into their old tradition. If they're really going to go all the way in, then go all the way in. But I don't know how they're pulling this off with the committee and the bylaws. But I guess, it does make sense. If you finish top 12, you should be one of those at-large teams. But this year, that would have flipped everything, guys. If they had that law instated this year, they would have been guaranteed the spot over Miami, and we would have seen no Final Four run from the Hurricanes. So very strange. We'll see if that holds up going forward.
So let me ask you something about the committee and the 12. Does this year, the way that this is playing out, does you think they'll be more inclined to not panic and see 12 through? Or because of the initial scuttlebutt, because we still saw early blowouts, right, in non-competitive games, you think the committee swayed to keep it where it is, at least for a little while, despite the potential money on the table?
Well, I've come to learn that this sport, at the top, the decision makers, it's all about money. As much as we hate to say it, I love the actual football of it. Like we all do. I'd love to see the competitive matchups. I like to talk about playoff size. It's all about the TV networks and their money. So if they find and they do their little research and they find that it's more profitable to go to 14 to 16 to 18, then it's just a matter of time. So, I'm a traditionalist. I love the old way of things with college football. It was the one sport that was different from the rest, and we love that about it. So I'd like to try and keep as much of that tradition as possible. I think the 12 has been a success this year. I'd rather even restrict it further. I know that's not going to happen, but I'll hold it 12. I think the only difference is maybe take a look at that G5 policy, where they should not have 2 G5s in there. I know that it's a feel-good story some years, but in other years like this one, there were not 2 deserving G5s. So close. I think if you had Notre Dame in there, or maybe a Vandy, a Texas, a Utah, somebody else, a competitive team, maybe that'd be the difference. But otherwise, it's been entertaining. That quarterfinal round was really entertaining.
So, Brett, I don't know how closely you follow the FCS playoffs that just wrapped up last night. I'm just curious. It seems like there's more parity and things there in that one. Is that just a function of you don't have this whole NIL money structure hovering over it that separates teams so much greater at the FBS level, or even from the Power 5 to Power 4 to Group of 5? Or is it just that the tournament's been established so much longer that teams kind of understand their paths forward?
Well, the expanded bracket for them has been around a long time. And if you think back, North Dakota State, the Bison, they won like 8 straight. So it was not always parity world over there. It was dynasty of all dynasties for about a decade plus. I think what happened is with the transfer portal, it just shook everything up. We talk about it mostly at the top. You look at the best quarterbacks, the best running backs, but that trickles all the way down. Then you have teams getting stolen from the G5, and then the G5 goes and gets players from the FCS. So anyways, I think it shook the whole thing up. That's why you see some random teams making some runs year after year in the FCS. It's just a more of a player movement, player carousel than we're used to seeing. So that, and then I guess the dynasty of the Bison receding a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't follow the FCS as much, obviously, as the FBS and the P4. So you guys might know. It was a heck of a game last night. Very entertaining. Overtime win for Montana State. Looked like a pretty packed house, too, at Vanderbilt Stadium. So, hats off to both those programs.
Yeah, Nashville does it right. And let me ask you something, generally speaking, along those lines. I think the original notion with NIL and the transfer portal, we saw the early hit that like junior colleges took, and then kind of trickled down a little bit into high school recruiting. I think high school recruiting may come back. We thought FCS may get drilled as they got pillaged for good players. Maybe the unintended consequence was with over 4,000 guys in the portal, maybe the FCS could flourish because they already play at a high level. They send guys to the pros. Think that where's everybody going to go, Brett?
Yeah, well, you see the stats come out. That's a great point because we always hear about the guys at the top, the 5-star quarterbacks, the big offensive linemen. But out of thousands and thousands of players in there, a lot of them aren't going to find a home at the FBS level or the Power Four. I think it was something like 40% end up moving down. And that's, used in quotes. That means moving from the P4 to the G5 or lower. So a lot of those former, Power Four recruits and players, they're going to end up at the FCS level. So it's almost just kind of a big resorting. I mean, the guys that really have NFL potential might move up and push at the P4 level. And conversely, some backups at the P4 might move down for playing time to the G5 and the FCS. So, I mean, in a way, it does have some benefits. It gets guys sorted out maybe more correctly later in their careers than we could have guessed as 18-year-old seniors in high school. So maybe there's some truth to that. But I'll tell you, from watching the FCS game, it really did feel refreshing. It was guys that really cared. They're there just for football and their school and their teammates. No other contract stuff, no drama with the money. So it was kind of refreshing yesterday, honestly.
All right, so let's talk about the Final Four here. You've got two games, both in the neighborhood in terms of what they're favored. I think they're both at 3.5 right now. Is there one of those games that's more intriguing to you?
Well, yeah, it's this Ole Miss Miami game because I think it's still a developing story what's happening where Lane Kiffin, I don't think he expected Ole Miss to go this far into January, and now he's looking to call back his future LSU staffers back to LSU, and they survived with that whole drama last week against Georgia. I don't know if they can do it without 6 offensive staffers this week against Miami. So I'm watching that story, and we'll see if that develops. I'll give you this though. Even if all those coaches are there, I'm still going to go Miami to win, and with the 3.5 points, I think the best offensive line, best defensive line. I think it's going to catch up to Ole Miss. So I like Miami to win and cover that one. On the flip side, I'm going to go Indiana. I think it's just the most complete team. They're an absolute machine this year. I was really impressed with what Oregon did shutting down Tech's offense last week, a team that was averaging 45 a game, and they completely shut them down. I never seen a quarterback so rattled.
Yeah, that is about as bad as a game as I've seen a guy that had his team playing at that level in a long time. He didn't even look like he belonged, which is
super weird. Yeah.
It looked like he was at the wrong stadium or something. And I wondered when I was watching, because I watched a lot of Texas Tech this year. I watched them live. And
yeah, you went there, right?
Yeah. Watching this game, I was like, is he like sick? Is there something wrong? I thought it was actually something non-football related. It just did not seem like the same quarterback or the same offense. So, and maybe a little bit of play calling too. I think that they were caught a little off guard. Some of those play calls were questionable, but anyway, the defense, Tech's defense held their own. But anyway, for this one, I'm going to go Indiana to win and cover. I think you're going to set up for an Indiana versus Miami national title game. I mean, all 4 of these potential matchups are going to be exciting for the national title. Some fresh blood in there for the first time in a long time.
That is our guy, Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews. Brett, appreciate the time as always. Great stuff.
Thanks, B.
That is Brett Ciancia from Pick 6 Previews.
FCS plays good ball.
They do. I think you're right. I
think
they
put guys in the league.
I think it's gotten better.
Yeah.
I think that was an unintended positive consequence of the transfer portal, and not just the FCS though. I think it's trickled down even to D2 a little bit.
Yeah, NDSU was part of Nebraska's coaching clinic, and obviously, South Dakota, North Dakota. I certainly am connected to SDSU.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the concerns for these guys early on was, how is this going to affect us? Will our top guys just get picked off?
Yeah, you get pillaged all the time.
But they're getting good guys to come to their programs.
Yeah, guys they never would have access to before.
So, like, I don't know. It's certainly not a sustainable market with what's going on at the current landscape of college football.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how long we can hang in there.
I think the other interesting thing is I think guys are sticking around the FCS level longer than they anticipated in terms of before they get picked off.
Yeah.
Like you're not typically seeing mostly multi-year guys coming from FCS. That's a lot of like 1 year. Hey, we need a quarterback. This guy's been successful for a few years. Let's go get like the Gronowski types, right? Yeah. It hasn't been a ton of, oh, that's a super awesome sophomore. Let's go get him. And now the FCS team is left in a weird spot. Like that hasn't typically been the case.
Yeah, I just don't know if if your departments can do that. Now, maybe.
In what sense?
So, you have recruiting and scouting departments, right? You have designations for people that just basically portal watch.
Yeah.
And are looking for the transactional part of it. I don't know if you can cover that scope with the FCS with as much efficiency as you.
Yeah.
I mean, because you really have to be you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
And do you have the time?
Sure.
So maybe those guys, unless they're
like fly under the radar
marketed,
a bit longer. Yeah.
By representatives, and how many of those guys have reps?
Yeah. And how many reps are doing the homework to know what guys to be in on, right? Yeah. So you have to stand out to a degree that
is it worth your time if I'm an agent or a handler to go market? This is a terrible analogy because he's already got a Power 4 landing spot, but like let's say Gronowski versus Chambliss.
Yeah.
Coming out. You know what I mean? It's like
you're going to Delta State D2.
Yeah, who's doing that?
To try and find a guy. Now maybe after, Chambliss wins a national championship and they're like, let's give this guy a shot. He's maybe got some tools, but you're not doing that when he's a sophomore.
Correct.
Right? So that to me is kind of the difference there. And the thing I think a lot of FCS schools maybe didn't anticipate is, hey, we probably have these guys for a few years still because, like you said, nobody has the time or resources to pick us apart before we're on a big national stage.
Now, there is probably a unique situation with the FCS level where you have to build your team and your roster and your culture as an inviting place to be too.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. But I think they're recruiting. It's just
FCS seems more like the way the rest of college football used to be.
Well, it seems like they miss less.
The good teams doesn't seem like they miss much, right? Like the top end.
Yeah.
You can't really.
It just ponders like what's portable.
You can't really afford to.
Yeah. Kyle was not mad at us. Kyle asked a good question on.
Oh, on Twitter. Yeah. I saw.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, good discussion on value versus worth. Happens in business every day, and the market tends to win unless you absolutely say no." And he says, "I completely agree with spending wisely, but can Rhule afford to not take some flyers?" And I said, "Hey, that's a fantastic question."
Yeah, I think it is a good question.
Let's say, because Kyle was the guy that clapped back over the Dylan thing, right? And I clapped back because he used "damn," which got my attention because we just talking to each other like that. But to his defense, I do think he's trying to learn. So, how patient can Rhule? I don't know if Kyle, in your sphere of influence, could Rhule take flyers? It doesn't seem like he's afforded the luxury to take flyers. I mean, we got a lot of cynics out here.
He's not. Would you have described Jeff Sims as a flyer?
Yes.
I would too.
Yeah. So
how much leeway? People are still killing him for Jeff Sims.
So there's two things. There's two things that you have to say out loud that I think people are really, really, really questioning the talent eval because we're underselling what he's found with whether it's a Jamari Butler or MJ Sherman or some of those guys that he's plucked versus when he says things about the Sims thing. I think people give him a hard time about.
Yep.
He's called some players on the current roster. He's talked about NFL caliber or all-conference caliber, or he'll reference NFL scouts, and people just aren't seeing it yet. Some of the guys are actually young.
Yeah.
But they aren't seeing it at all. So I think they're doubling down on the fact that they're just not very good at what they do. But we forget. I think they are, though, because they've done it. They have been. I don't want to. It's very fluid.
Yeah.
The talent eval has been so far pretty good because remember, guys, and I'm not trying to talk you into anything. I'm just trying to give you both sides of the coin when we want to have intelligent conversations. And this is actually about being right or wanting to get it right versus being right. Remember, they make a lot of offers to guys before other schools do, and other schools offer those guys. The track record is unparalleled. Like, you guys can admit that that's a thing, right? Where,
I mean, we know. What about there's a big one, Quan Lacey?
Yeah,
Quan Lacey's a huge one.
Oh yeah,
right. I hear all the time. Oh, it'd be nice to have him. The reason? Not the reason. He probably would have gotten some up, but one of the first teams in on Quan Lacey, and the reason he was committed to Nebraska is because Nebraska was one of the first offers he had, and the teams in his neighborhood.
Ohio State's got a linebacker that comes to mind. The initials NC. There are lots of guys like that. Odom is one. Who's the cornerback that ended up leaving Nebraska to go just this class?
The quarterback?
DB. Corner.
Oh, he went to Florida.
Yeah.
Brownell.
Yeah.
CJ Brownell.
Correct. So some of that has to be good, right?
I would think so.
Like, they're pretty good at that part, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're going to have some hits and you're going to have some misses, but I think this...
And you're going to have some guys that don't end up here.
The fact that what happens is he said out loud.
Yeah.
Right, which I think they'll learn from. But...
I wish he didn't have to learn from.
I mean, it is
because I like getting that information. I like hearing who he likes and how he sees guys. I understand it is not for his benefit.
He can't win for losing because sometimes, and this is where I think some of the growth happens. Sometimes he's not saying it for us. Mm-hmm. He's saying it for them because I think he thinks the belief piece is critical.
He's talked about that.
And part of what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So he's certainly not some martyr, but I do think there are times where he's taken one for the team for the sake of growth,
mm-hmm.
and it's bit him. So he has to negotiate that going forward.
Yeah.
Right. Just how transparent am I willing to be? Right. Because if he gets into the, well, I'm not going to talk about specific players. Fudge, we're not going to like that either. So he's got to find that middle ground.
Yeah, no, we've done that with other coaches before. We don't like it.
Yeah, we just he has to find that middle ground.
The other part of this, I think, is when you're talking about taking flyers on guys.
Yeah, there's probably a better term. I think he appears to be bright. I think what he means is maybe he's saying, do you overspend a time or two?
So that's why I
don't want to put words in his mouth.
I think that's what he means. Because when I hear flyer,
I know it's
when I hear flyer, I mean, I look at.
I don't really want to do it.
Well, I don't even
risk is greater than the reward.
I think more of it's like hey, let's just see. When I think of a flyer, it's not like I'm not totally sure, but there's something there that I like.
When I hear flyer, I think, what's it cost us?
Right, but it's usually a low cost move.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So I think it's
I mean it like not literal what's it cost us, like, hey, this doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But you generally, when I think of flyers, I'm not thinking of, hey, this is an expensive move and we're not sure. Because to me, that's where you get in trouble.
I don't know. I just don't think we're going to be very patient to take a ton of flyers.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we just have to self-police better, Right. If on one hand we're saying, well, you got to overspend and you got to pay to do this, and then if it doesn't work out, you can't turn around and say we got to waste money. You wasted money.
Yeah, why do we pay?
Because that's probably more a reflection of your character.
Mm-hmm.
As the individual critiquing it, like you wanted it both. You wanted.
You can't
to
have
wait
it both ways.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
So if you're willing to be honest with yourself and say, "Oh, I was on board with this because I could see it," then don't vilify somebody for it later on.
Yeah. Dixie, I agree. He's taken flyers on guys that have like good track time, stuff like that. Some of them have stayed, some of them have gone. So like I agree. Those are what I would consider flyers. Quinn Clark felt like a flyer. Not a huge cost to them. They saw something they liked. They're like
early. That's what I consider a flyer.
That's
a good one on the town eval.
Yeah.
That's
a really good one on the town eval, right? Yeah. And so that's sort of what I
remember where he came from. He camped twice.
Had no Division I offers.
That I sent him to
So
but he was patient with that because that message came. I sent that in January. I went through the whole track record.
Yeah.
Of the Quinn Clark thing.
Yeah.
His uncle sent me the tape. He's like, take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't hear back from him. I didn't hear from him for 3 months.
Yeah. But
so I don't know what he thought.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, and he may not have trusted me then yet.
Sure, that was early.
Just way early.
Yeah. But that's one where I consider a flyer. And listen, most flyers don't work out. That's kind of the point of a flyer. Is like most of them aren't going to work out, but they're low-cost moves. That's why I don't think this Minchey conversation would qualify as a flyer in terms of can you afford not to take some flyers? My question is, I think what Kevin means is, can he afford not to overspend a few times to get the guys he thinks he needs? And I think if he found a guy that he genuinely thought that was the case for, then he would. And I'll make the argument here, and I know Kevin's going to kill us for talking about Dylan again, but I'll make the argument.
Bender, he brought up the Philadelphia Flyers. You funny guy. That's one of the franchises I hate.
I'll make an argument here because I think that's what they did with Dylan, was overspend on a guy they felt like could be that guy, and they felt like they needed to.
I'm over the conversation, but I said my piece on what I thought about Dylan. I think it was spot on, and it's not just because I said it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was too much, too fast. I go all the way back to high school, the late blooming of the quarterback position, the talent evaluation, the star ranking is doomed from the start because I think is a miss eval. Uber talented, but it's a different discussion. I'm telling you, man. If it would have been just a 4-star,
we'd have looked at it a lot different.
We'd have looked at it a lot different.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But listen to what we're saying. Yeah. We're allowing that to skew our thought process. Like, don't let yourself off the hook. Just be better.
I had this same conversation with you about Christian Jones.
Just be better. Like you have to. That's where it was frustrating, and it sounded like kind of a meltdown. That was way back at headquarters when I was like, "Oh shoot, the light bulb went on." I'm not making excuses for the play. I'm telling you from the start, the eval was off. It was just off.
Yeah.
Like there was still so much development that had to happen. So I don't know, man. I think. I get it. People want to do away with rankings, and I'm for everybody being gainfully employed. So I definitely am for the recruiting industry, and they don't bother me at all. I've learned to play in that world. I've learned to live in that world. But I do know one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a legit comp.
Okay.
Just had this conversation in my household. I think coming out where scouts miss, where they miss. If you're just looking at tangibles,
okay,
coming out of high school or junior college to high school, physically with attributes, are you taking Deshaun Singleton or are you taking Xavier Watts?
Singleton.
Every day that ends in Y, right?
Yeah, he's a freak.
Who's in the NFL with a shot at? He's not going to be Rookie of the Year, but playing like
a defensive Rookie of the Year.
It took him how many years at Notre Dame?
5?
Yeah.
Full 5, right?
How many times he switched positions?
3?
3.
Back, forth, back?
Yeah, 3 number changes.
Yeah.
So what you can't measure
Mm-hmm.
is competitive resolve, like stamina, like just staying the course. And his staying the course was, you know what? I'm not listening to this. I'm not listening to that. I'm going to get in the lab. I'm just going to go get better.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. You do need somebody to believe in you.
Yes.
That's the part we discount, you guys. Like, you need somebody to believe in you. Because if you don't have that, a lot of times you don't get the opportunity.
You're going to get lost in the wash.
X had somebody believe in him.
Yeah. Here's the other.
He and that son of a gun flipping maximized. But what I'll tell you is when I look at him, and you let me watch guys work out, we had this problem on our own team. We're not playing a guy in the back end at our school that if you watch him in drills, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Physically more gifted than the starter. Just disconnect.
Hasn't put it together yet.
So like that happens all the time. And to DJ's point, like I told you, there's 3 things Nebraska has to figure out. Why it goes south so fast, right? The
first one was a mentality with the players.
You need an alpha.
Yeah, the alpha.
Like you need another dog. And what happens between what we know versus what we actually do? Like, where's the disconnect in the physical portion of it? Right? Those are the top 3 things that they've got to address. So when you're looking for guys, like how patient would we have been? Like, let's just be honest. Like, how patient would we have been with Xavier Watts?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been harder in state too.
Oh, we'd have killed him.
Yeah,
we'd have killed him.
Like, bust.
This guy's in the league,
and he's killing
flourishing.
And he's killing it. 5 picks as a rookie, I think.
Like,
he's killing it.
And it took 3.5 years.
Yeah.
But somebody believed in him. So
here's the other half of that though.
I just don't know. Like, if we want a lot of things as a fan base and in the media. Like, what are we willing to give up?
And what are we willing to wait on?
So that's part of it.
Yeah, that's the patient. The other part of the thing with a guy like Watts, though, is yes, you have to have somebody.
Do I need to talk about Fred Hoiberg or no?
We can.
No, because it's self-explanatory.
It should be, but it should be. Here's the thing about
Watts. Can I ask you something else?
Yeah.
Relative to their past performances, so the 25, I think Fred won. He had 3 21 seasons at Iowa State.
I'll look it up, but something like that, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm just curious.
Let's see what we got here on good old Frederick Hoiberg. He had 4.
Okay. Relative to the jobs they did, because the equal accomplishments at the professional level.
Yeah, both got let go.
Yeah, right. So let's call that equal. Relative to the job, who do you think had the better resume?
I think Rhule.
Is it debatable?
Yeah.
Right. So when I say it can happen, sometimes you need to be patient, and you say, well, it's never happened before. I get the 2-30 or whatever it is against the top 25. Yeah. And hear my heart. This certainly is not a validation. What I'm telling you is whether it works or not, the accolades that each came in with the prowess were very, 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 very similar, in my opinion. I think most objective people would agree with that. So we were willing to be more patient with basketball because basketball has never been good enough. Let's say it's good enough. We're not willing to be patient with football because Football has been good, and other people are getting better.
Yeah, we feel like we're getting past.
Yeah. So what will be the difference? Like, and what you're willing to deal with? Because a lot of guys, there's a couple of guys in particular that drive me crazy with their skirt and pom-poms over Nebraska basketball that they know. And I'm not willing to lose associations over it because I don't know if I'd call them friends. But it's like now it's like, you wanted that guy fired.
Mm-hmm.
From the mountaintops, you wanted that guy fired. So I don't know. Is it too myopic? Maybe.
For what it's worth, it took Fred Hoiberg 5 years to get above 500.
Oh, I know. I didn't even get into that.
Took him 5 years.
Yeah, and he
was 16-16.
And listen, he changed the methodology too.
So that's the other thing that's important.
What I'm trying to stay away from, though, is similarly being able to build in basketball to football, because I don't think
they're different.
The direct comparison is the same. Analogous, the analogous part is like you can recalibrate and change the methodology real time. Now the problem,
you want to know real quick on the basketball part real quick. You want to know I think the funniest part about that?
What?
Is basketball was better when Fred took over than football was when Rhule took over. They won 19 games the year before he took over.
I'm trying.
I know. I'm just saying.
To make the linear, because this is what our own fan base is doing.
I'm just saying.
They're comparing basketball to football. That's not the actual prowess. Is not necessarily what I'm getting at. The fact that we've seen it done in different ways with similar sentiments going in is something that I think we can choose to gravitate towards. Now, if you're just all out, you're all out. I'm not trying to change that. What I'm saying is, in the meantime, you can't not work at it.
Right.
Like they have a job while they're here. They still have a job to do.
Yeah. What are their other options?
Yeah.
Like that, there's not any. The only reason I bring up, because I do think situationally they are very similar, even though building a basketball program and building a football program are very different, right? I think situationally they're very similar. That's why I bring up the Nebraska basketball record versus the Nebraska football record going into these respective tenures.
I just don't get the whole talent eval thing.
It's because honestly, the Jeff Sims thing haunts him, or is brought up about him a lot. I also think it's just a frustration of not having won enough. That's all it is. Like, if we're being honest, like everything that we talk about that is or isn't true, or the amount of money that is spent, or the talent evals, or the coaching staff turnover, or whatever, if Nebraska wins 2 more games this year, we're not having those conversations. Like that's just the long and short of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I understand that those conversations, right, wrong, or indifferent, will continue to happen until Nebraska wins enough. But
is he a redshirt sophomore, Hunter?
Who?
He's. I like where his head is at. I'm just having a sidebar conversation. I'm listening to you though, bud.
Well, no, who was he talking about? I could probably
Corey Brown.
Oh, I don't know.
He was at Miami and UCF. He's in the portal now.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody say he was in the portal. I don't know what year he is.
Yeah.
But the other part of this is that I also think there is I get really, like you said, if you want to be out on the current administration, that's fine. Here's my question though, and I said this before, like, he's not going anywhere. Right? So what if he's not going anywhere and we expect him to work in the meantime, right? Like, nobody would be okay with him just mailing it in. And he wouldn't be okay with just mailing it in, from what I know about him. Then what do we do in the meantime if we're out? Like, you're not going to watch games anymore? Are you rooting for him to fail so that you're right? Because that's kind of the thing I brought up earlier in my DJ Lagway example. Are you Like, what do we do in the meantime? Because that, I think, is an important question. Because I do think it is totally off the table that Matt Rhule is no longer the coach at the University of Nebraska by anyone's choice but his own. Like, that's just not happening.
Justin, I'm cool. Like, if you want to rest and who and what you are, like, I'm cool. But I mean, I'm pretty much gonna be me. I don't know. I just waiting for Justin to explain that. I'm not some involved human. I don't know.
I think there is. I think a lot of these things do require philosophical lectures. And if you don't want that,
it's okay. I just want to know where he's coming from before I.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'll wait to. You know how I get. You know how I get.
It's okay.
My point is, what are we doing in the meantime? Like, if you're obviously everybody's frustrated with how this football season went, right? Nobody's happy with that. In the building, out of the building, media, fans, whatever. Nobody's happy with how the football season went, especially how it ended. And I understand that there are some people who are like, hey, I just don't see this changing under Rhule. So my question is, what do you do in the meantime? Like, as a fan,
they're probably just going to be out.
No, they're not out, though, because they're here. Some of them, they're on the internet. Like, that's my thing. And it seems like I don't know how you can call yourself a fan.
No, let's not do that.
I'm not going to. If you're actively rooting against the team you say you're a fan of.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm not saying I don't see how you, because like I was out on Frost.
People can do what they want.
They can. I just don't know how I understand you can carry both labels at the same time. If you're saying I'm out on Rhule, so I am rooting for them to lose.
Let me ask you something.
That's the part I don't get.
If you could wave the magic wand, where would you start with this football team? Emotionally or physically?
Emotionally.
God, I don't know if I would.
I think I would. Because here's the problem. We brought this up. It's one of your things. Why do the wheels fall off so fast? If I can fix that, I like my chances.
That's fair.
And what did we talk about yesterday with my give a shitism? Like, if you fix that, listen, maybe you don't beat Penn State because Penn State was more talented and they finally started playing well. But I know this was you probably beat Minnesota. Emotionally, if you fix emotionally, I think you beat Minnesota. If you fix emotionally, I think you're at least in the game against Iowa. Those are the ones that I think, like, if you want to use the Penn State thing, and I know I was annoyed about it because it's like, yeah, I get they're talented, but their record is their record.
I think I would change. I think I would change physically.
Which part?
So I want to know. I want to see what it would look like if you just walked into this sounds super caveman or barbaric. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like if you just walked in to the facility and you just saw just combative violence.
Isn't that a mentality though? Like, do you think we have guys that are not physically capable of violence, or that's just not how they're wired? Because that's really the question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think they have guys that are capable of violence, physically.
Yeah. I mean, I look at – I don't know, man. Like, I think Mekhi Nelson is tougher than Judy.
I think – listen, how many times have I said –
I think Mosey's it's not in the right places.
Right, but isn't that mental? Isn't that emotional?
I don't know.
Well, I guess that's the question.
Yeah, I thought he was a redshirt sophomore. Junior.
Because that's the question is, do you think the fact – and listen, I've said it 100 times. I thought Ja'Cory Barney's been the toughest guy on the team for a couple years.
Yeah.
In the neighborhood of it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And so –
now, that's a good example of a mentality. Like, he's a super tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
The decision-making sometimes is like, wait.
Sure.
Don't return that.
Yeah. But I think
he's like, hey, man, I'm competitive, though. We need a play. I got to make a play.
Yeah.
So that fine line that's tough to balance, man.
It is, but that's still emotional. All of that's emotional. I think toughness is emotional. I think choosing to be violent and knowing when to be violent is emotional.
I get what you're saying because the way that Skirt Too Crazy put it, that's hard to debate. He says being capable of physical violence is more mental than physical.
I agree.
He's right.
I agree.
He's right.
Like I don't look at Riley Van Poppel and go, that guy's not capable of violence.
You just don't think it's in his DNA.
I don't know if it is or not, but I haven't seen it enough to think it is. Like I look at him and I go, he doesn't choose violence often enough.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
Williams Nwaneri, physically capable of whatever he wants, does not choose violence often enough.
I just think there's something about this place over time where I don't know.
Let's go back to basketball for a second. That's a mentality team.
That's a tough team.
That's a emotional team. I don't look at that, and there's good players on that roster, don't get me wrong. You don't look at that roster and go, better than Michigan State's.
No.
Not top to bottom, maybe in a couple spots.
Yeah.
Right? You'll take Rienk Mast over most people at this point, right?
Yeah. And the reason we like Frager, or at least the reason I have.
Because he's got that FU in him.
Yeah, it's not because of his physical gifts. And
which are good.
But we haven't even really seen him yet.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him, like, unleash the athleticism, which he has, right? You see every once in a while. Like, if you really...
Yeah, we don't like Hoiberg because of his
physical limitations.
We don't like Hoiberg because of his athletic prowess.
Yes. Yeah. But...
Rienk is skilled. We don't talk about him being super athletic.
No, he's not a freak athlete. He's a really good basketball player.
I don't know. Do I like the basketball analogy?
I'm just saying, that's everything that we love about that basketball team is mostly about the way they go about their business. And you know what the biggest difference is between the first 4 years of Fred Hoiberg and the last 3 years of Fred Hoiberg? I could argue
experience.
I could argue there was more talent on some of those first 4 teams.
Yeah, that's 100% right.
Than there are on the last 3.
That's 100% right.
What's the difference?
Like end to end.
Yeah. Guy for guy, there was more talent on those first 4 teams.
He may have been able to tweak the culture too.
But again, to me, that's the emotional and mental part.
DB, when you ran out of bounds at practice, was it mental or physical?
Probably depends on the day.
No, he's probably talking about the whole you don't get paid enough.
Oh, okay.
And I got clicked over and over.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't feel good. But if I was more dialed, would I have?
I would say, did you let how you felt impact your decision making, though?
Yeah.
So
I totally did.
So that's mental.
I totally did. But if I felt better, I might not have done it.
Right, but that's the point.
But I did learn. It's mental.
That's the point of it being mental, though, right?
Yeah, because I did have to learn, like, what's your 70%, which is what I want these guys to learn.
That's what I mean, right? Because the thing we're talking about with these guys is, can you not allow what you feel physically to impact how you
I just hate how all these years, like, what was the one thing? The decision about the onside kick never bothered me in Ireland.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever bothered me. I had a meltdown because I said not executing that shouldn't have been the end of your season. That's what I was mad about.
Yeah.
The second half against Colorado should not have meant a collapse.
People forget that Nebraska still led after the onside kick.
So, like, those are the things that probably bug me more over the last 10 years.
Yes. Like, Nebraska doesn't lose every one-score game when they go 3-9 because of physically. They showed in the first 50.
One of those, yeah.
They showed in the first 58 minutes they could hang physically. Right? Like, that's the point. It's the last 2. They showed last year.
Yeah, you don't get beat.
You could
hang. You don't get beat in the last seconds against Iowa all the time. Well, not this year, but
a lot of years because of physical. Yeah. You don't get your head beat in by Indiana and then go hang with Ohio State because of physical. And we talked about this yesterday. Indiana last year, roster-wise, shouldn't have really scared anybody.
Yeah, so I guess I'm on record. I don't really care what happens at the quarterback spot until you get knockbacks and fix O-line, D-line.
I only care that they bring people
That's
into
it.
the room so that you have a room. That's the only like listen, I understand the optics of what the Minchey situation is. I also understand that he had thrown 66 passes over 3 years and we knew nothing about him except for high school tape. Really.
Yeah.
So like I don't care who they bring in. I hope to God it's not DJ Lagway, but if it is, I'll figure out a way to get on board.
You'll cheer for him.
I will 100% cheer for him. Right? Like, but the point is, I agree with you.
You know what's funny about the Giles discussion?
I actually like Giles.
Before that game, we were kind of terrified because he was playing at a high level.
What conversation did I have with you before that game?
Yeah, he bugged you. He worried you.
I said I thought he was the most gifted quarterback they will have played that year, including Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah.
And I thought at the time he was better than Bryce Underwood, and I think he was. I think Aiden Giles is pretty good. Now, I don't know if he's a good fit and whatever. Like, I don't know the rest of it, right? But you can do a hell of a lot worse than Aiden Giles. But I agree to your point. I don't care about the names in the room so much as I care about what's the offensive line look like, what's the defensive line look like, which they got Brendan Black from Iowa State. They got Owen Chambliss from SDSU in linebacker spot. So they're working on some of those things as well. But if you bring in, like, as long as you bring in 2 or 3 guys, like, I'm cool. Because you have to bring in 2 or 3 guys to have a quarterback room. That's it. The Minchey thing is like, it felt a lot like, what was old boy's name from Toledo, the D coordinator that we fell in love with for 4 minutes?
We?
Well, the Royal we.
He ended up going to
Syracuse.
Yeah.
That's what the Minchey thing reminds me of.
I got you.
We knew nothing about him 4 minutes ago. 8 minutes later, when he leaves us, we're like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. He wanted a job that weekend.
Which is cool. Minchey,
he ended up getting one. It just wasn't at Nebraska.
Minchey wanted a job that weekend, too, and he got one. It's just at Kentucky. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Michael BRUNTZ, Husker 24/7. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, really well. I think really well. Brock's a leader. He's been through this and, the ups and downs. And, you're not going to win every match a lot sometimes. And he'd love to win all of them, but he didn't, obviously. He's got a couple losses, just like Antrell. But these guys are tough-minded guys, and they have the ability to bounce back and learn from their mistake. That's the key, is not making the same mistake and getting better from it, and that's what Brock has done. And Corey Land's a really good wrestler, so he's wrestled a quality opponent.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I think what led to those 9 3-pointers was giving up good shots for great shots. I think we had great looks, and we just made that one more pass to the next great shooter on our team, and we were just able to knock that shot down. So I think it just started with being selfless. Yeah, I think we talk about like the next game on our schedule is the most important game, and we needed to win a couple days in practice to beat Purdue today. They're a great team, and so yes, we wanted to bounce back from those 2 losses, but Purdue was our focus, and just they were the next opponent. I think just being able to guard our yard, limit offensive rebounds. I think when you hold a team like to 62 points, like in the Big Ten, like you should be able to come away with wins. And so that was definitely something we talked about, not pointing fingers, but pointing fingers at ourselves and looking in the mirror and what could we do differently. And I thought our response today to that was a lot better.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by resident Oakland A's fan, Los Angeles, Sacramento A's fan, Michael BRUNTZ. How are we doing this morning?
Not bad. What's up? Tuesday.
Texans or Steelers?
I'll go Texans, but I think it'll be a game. I'm expect. Let me ask you this: how long did it take you to get to sleep after that game the other night?
So that was the problem. that was. Nobody asked me that. That was the hardest part. The anxiety during the game was tough.
Yeah.
Going to bed was significantly more difficult. It was a couple hours.
I was to say you're probably running pretty hot on that at that point. But
I told Ravi at one point I was standing about 2 inches away from a 50-inch television, like it was really going to matter.
Just nose right up against it.
Oh man, it's embarrassing. It's like, what am I even doing? All right, Rams or Panthers?
Rams.
Does it seem right that they're going on the road?
That seems a little off to me. But
I don't like the division winner thing in football, by the way. I think it's stupid.
God, yeah. Pretty much. Oh, you agree, BRUNTZ?
Well, I mean,
Do you want to would you reseed by record?
I don't think it should guarantee you a home game.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's tough because you got to do something because, I mean, when you've got a team that's barely 500 winning their division, like, I mean, record makes sense to me, I guess.
Yeah, they were waiting on an Atlanta-New Orleans game.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Like, why is that? Like, how should that matter who plays where? I understand if it changes the division winner, right? Like, I get that. But, like, you should know, hey, you're slotted here because you're going to have the worst record. Whoever comes out of the South has the worst record. Like, that doesn't seem like rocket science to me.
Am I old school that I just like a set bracket? Does that make me old?
I do like a set bracket.
Do you really?
Yeah. Well, it should, like, the best team should play the worst team. Like, this is not hard.
Huh. All right. What, Packers, Bears?
Heart says Bears, head says Packers. Like, does it continue? Like, does the Bears run continue? Like, it feels like they're like Broncos turned up to about 20 this season.
Will the Packers all of a sudden be healthy enough?
I'm not a Packers
Huffy here.
Neither am I, but I mean, it's a lot to trust Chicago.
Oh, Bills or Jags?
That's my guy.
Jags.
Oh, that was kind of weak.
It was kind of quick though.
He said Jags.
Jags. Recency bias, having seen them fairly recently and watching them just murder Denver. So I'll go Jags.
Chargers, Patriots.
Chargers, because I want to. Denver wants them again. They want them again.
I love them. I like the rationale, bro. So outside of the Rams being a 10-point favorite, the next biggest spread is only 4.5.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's a banged up Eagles-Niners.
Yeah,
we need some good early playoff matchups. Give me some good games.
You're all in on Denver, right? This is going to be one of those mythical runs.
Yes.
Oh.
A little hesitation.
Well, what the?
Little hesitation.
Yes. I like being at home. I like what they can do with that defense. I am in. It's happening this year, guys.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What in a vacuum? How much do you trust Bo Nix?
Very.
He's about to say very little.
You want a percentage?
Give me a scale.
You could just say you trust him or not.
Give me a.
I do. I trust him more. I trust him more in the last month and a half than I did at the start of the season.
So we talked to Vinny Iyer yesterday, and we asked him which quarterback he trusted the least, and we did it by conference. Do you know who he said in the AFC?
Oh, this is a good one.
No, who do you say?
Justin Herbert.
Really?
Yeah. Nix wasn't even on the table for him.
Wow. Maybe I need to get outside my bubble a little bit. See what people are saying out there.
You're a fan, right? You're so close to it. It's like,
yeah, I'm inches away from a 50-inch TV right now. That's where I am. I'm all up in it.
Wondering how the most reliable kicker in the NFL can slip on an extra point. Yeah, me too. Or how Jalen Ramsey can't high point a ball. Yeah, me too.
On a scale from Anthony Richardson, which is 0,
okay,
to Tom Brady, which is a 10. That's your trust scale for Bo Nix. Where does he fall?
Closer to Brady, I'd say like 70%. Like I trust.
So he's like
70%.
he's like a 7 out of 10 on the Richardson Brady scale.
Yes.
Oof, that seems high.
Interesting.
That seems high.
Hey, BRUNTZ, how did the message board world react to the Minchey info?
How do you think?
Dang, Shafe, I don't know.
So you had a fun day yesterday?
It get a little tense last night, guys. No, it was.
I took back that back pat and rub the other day in Vegas too. That's off the table going forward. You probably don't even like touched. I should have just been like, I'll leave this guy alone.
No, it was. It was. I would say the news was surprising in its swiftness. So yeah, I don't know. I guess on to the next one. But yeah, it's interesting because I think there was probably. I mean, I know where I was whenever our Tom Lloyd posted about Minchey when we were in Vegas. But yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit of kind of coming around to the resume with him. You know, the kind of lack of resume there from the time at Notre Dame, and then to kind of have it switch again. I mean, I think that was a little bit of a shock to the system. Plus, I mean, you know, it's been a bit of a slow burn. I think everybody kind of wants the portal commitments to roll in, and it's not good when you're, you know, getting guys out of the portal and they're not even out of the portal yet. I'm assuming that's what happens. They physically come out of the portal, and then
it's like a time machine.
Like smoke.
Yeah, they're not even out yet, and then they go to a different spot. So. But Nebraska's pivoting. We'll see which direction they ultimately go. But it was a little bit of strong opinions last night.
Do you think the opinions were more? Because you said we kind of started coming around on the resume or lack thereof. Were the opinions more about? I'm going to give you 3 options. Were they more about the player himself that we had decided he was or wasn't? About the optics of how it played out? Or about the fact that you just brought up that they haven't landed a bunch of offensive and defensive linemen that would get us excited?
It's both 2 and 3. Like I think that was. I think it's the optics of things. You know, I think, you know, that is tough. I mean, you know, you get your top guy and then get left at the altar. That's a tough deal, no matter how it played out. And I think. I don't know. I mean, I think it's just kind of the natural progression of things after a bowl game that, you know, did not end very well. And there's a lot of a lot of question marks and needs going into 2026. So I think it's all that. Like, I don't think it's not Bo Nix in a vacuum. Like, I think there's stuff there that's kind of compounding, but I think it was, I think there's some questioning about what the plan is. And certainly, last night's news probably didn't help assuage things there. So, but that's life in the portal, I guess. I mean, it sounds like, Kenny Minchey's agent played this pretty well. I mean, it's maybe not above board with everything, but got his guy more money and a starting spot, and we'll see what Nebraska does now.
Let me ask you something, BRUNTZ. At what point did you get over or kind of reconcile what you were seeing in Vegas
from the game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it was. I think there was some frustration probably that came from that, where you have a month to prepare for things and still looked pretty unprepared in some situations. I don't know. I mean, I think it's so different now. At the end of the year, I mean, you used to go to these bowl games and you'd have kind of you would know who was coming back. You'd know what your team was largely going to be for the following year. And now it's like, you see guys hugging and saying, I'll see it. It's much more of like a professional type thing. Like, maybe I'll see you next season, that kind of thing. But I think, I don't know. I mean, I think what happened in Las Vegas with the way that game kind of played out, I mean, I think it was kind of clarifying in some ways for what Nebraska needs to do this offseason.
Like butter?
Yeah,
Clarified
I think
butter.
so. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I don't know that I got over it. I mean, I think it was a pretty good indication of like, okay, this is where Nebraska is right now, and this is where you have to go, and kind of what needs to be fixed. I think a lot of the things that we probably saw in that game, I don't know that they were they weren't like surprising of like, oh, Nebraska needs to get better here, or this is.
That's what I was going to ask.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
How long would you listen to me? You're going to say not long because it's me, but
go on.
Like if I
still listening.
If you don't give up a 3rd and goal from the 20 or a 3rd and 18 for a shot play, like was that game so far gone that you don't we can't have that discussion, or are you like, oh, I am actually curious to see what would have happened there? Like, did anything else interest you if like those two things don't happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be willing to listen to that. Those were absolutely like backbreaking, can't happen type plays, and
I think we forget that actually happened.
I would be curious to know what Nebraska does differently offensively if that happens, because I think that was the thing that was probably the most jarring, was how great it looked for 2 drives and how just out of sorts it looked for the next 5. Like, I think that I don't know how different that looks. But no, I mean, I think that was kind of the end point for me of like, okay, well, this one's over. Like, let's start figuring out where we're going to dinner tonight, how we're getting to the airport. But no, I mean, I think that's those 2 plays. I mean, they were backbreaking, and those are the plays that just can't happen. But I mean, I think that's, I don't know. There was so much more in that game too that was just like, can't happen. If you're in a back and forth game with Utah like that, where it's, one team kind of scoring against the other, you can't just kind of go into a shell offensively for a quarter and a half. I mean, it's the second quarter numbers in that game were just like,
well, the next
hide the women and children type stuff.
Yeah, the next 5 drives went for 9 yards.
Yeah, like, I mean, that the 2 plays you described, I mean, they were awful. Can't happen. But I mean, it wasn't like the offense was standing in there in the second quarter trading punches with Utah either.
So here's my question, and maybe this is too linear, but I'm trying to figure out what happened between Cincinnati in game 1, where you have what feels like in the moment catastrophic pass interference play that I think most Nebraska fans felt like was going to cost them the game, and then Nebraska bounces back mentally, physically, emotionally, makes a play to win the game. And the last 3 games of the season,
you don't even have to go that far. The holding and the defensive PI in Minnesota
against Minnesota, sure. So what happened between game 1 and what was that 7?
Minnesota
6?
See,
they were 5-1. So yeah. So like I'm trying to figure out what happened between the first game of the season and midpoint of the season, where this team seemed like they were mentally capable or emotionally capable of overcoming these things that have derailed them in the past, to getting to Minnesota, and then what we saw in the last 3 games of the season, where you're in games for a quarter and a half, 2 quarters, and then things get away from you and it unravels immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question.
That's tough.
I mean, and I don't think it's just one thing either. I mean, you could point to just kind of the compounding nature of the season. Like you don't get the, here we go again in week 1. Maybe you get it more in at Penn State. Like, is that fair? You're playing better teams later in the season than what you saw, aside from Michigan in the first 4 or 5 games. So there's a little bit more of there's more of a book on a team at that point. I don't know. I mean, I don't know mentally what happened with Nebraska, and I don't even know if it's something that other teams were doing. I don't know if it's Nebraska's inability to in-game make changes and adjustments that would stop that from happening. I mean, maybe it's a combination of everything. I don't know, but even offensively, I mean, at the start of the year, it looked a little bit, you had a little bit more there until it became somewhat clear that Nebraska was going to struggle to protect the quarterback at times. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's everything. I think it's probably a big question of that they're going to have to get figured out this year. And how do you kind of get that out of the program, whether it's coaching, how you do stuff in the winter or whatever. But, I think the concern is basically post second bye week. What kind of happened that allowed things to snowball in the way that, they haven't under Matt Rhule, but for any Nebraska fan felt a little bit familiar with how things kind of played out at times.
Yeah, the emotional, I can't get over, regardless of coach, how like 1 or 2 things seem to, and maybe it's me maybe I'm wrong. That's not 1 or 2 things, but fudge. Like I go back to a second half against Colorado, or a long run being called back and a game flipping, or an onside kick and a game flipping, or we don't get a 3rd and 18 against Maryland in the game flipping, or Michigan State catching a wheel route in East Lansing in the game flipping. Like I can't get over. Let me just ask it this way. BRUNTZ, do you think Nebraska looks the way they do physically because they lack competitive confidence, or do you think they they're not very good physically, or the other way around? They're not very good. They're not confident, so they don't look good physically. Or because you don't think they're physically capable, they're not confident.
They shouldn't be confident.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it looked weird, like how quickly the athleticism and talent flipped in that game against Utah was startling. And I saw it against Iowa too.
Yeah, I mean,
I bet if they could figure that out, they could. I don't know. It seems like if they could figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, like, I mean, the plays that you mentioned earlier, like the long 3rd down, like it was like a backbreaker, like and after that point, it was just like, what do we do? I mean, and it felt before that point too, though, that Nebraska was kind of like on the ledge a little bit. Like, it didn't feel like you were able to do a ton in terms of pressure. You weren't, making those kind of havoc type plays. I mean, I don't know. Like it's probably
we heard a coach say he stopped calling a game a certain way because of.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, is it also just, what are you leaning on in those moments? Like when you need a play, like what are you calling to? Like, what are you, like offensively, when you need to get a key 3rd and 8, like what's your identity? What are you going to fall back on that you feel like you can lean on in those situations? And I think that's been kind of the challenge is, late in the year, it felt like Nebraska just had nothing to kind of base out of. Like, the defense wasn't doing enough to stop the run or make those kinds of plays where you'd feel like, okay, the tide's turning a little bit. You never had somebody, Hartzog's play against Cincinnati is kind of what Nebraska did not have enough of in November. You just didn't have it. So I don't know. I mean, is it confidence? Is it coaching? Is it scheme? I mean, it's probably a little bit of everything. And you got to find a way to kind of, I don't know, fix that kind of bravado, but also have it show up on the field a little bit. Like that's just not that's what's lacking. I mean, it's,
So conversely, I mean, you got to be pretty pumped, BRUNTZ, when you watch Nebraska's fortitude and kind of their gumption with how they play basketball too, especially from a program that hasn't been who they have been like at all for the duration of its existence.
Yeah. Well, and I think I was thinking about this last night, and not in the context of football, but now that you've mentioned it, I mean, it's even last night when things were not going well offensively for Nebraska, like they just kind of, to borrow the Mark Mangino thing, they just kept sawing wood. Like they were kind of trying to find things that worked. And that's the benefit of veteran guys that just understand, the nature of basketball sometimes. Like somebody's gonna have to make a play. They got Frager involved late and just kind of cleared the way for him. So I don't know. I mean, it's a confident group. I think it's a mature group. I think all of that kind of helps when, I mean, look, you're coming off of like a huge win over Michigan State, and to be able to completely reset things and focus on a road game at Ohio State, a place you have not played well at all. I mean, I think that's the difference. I mean, I think there's something in the maturity there, and with a little bit of success, I think you also gain a little bit of confidence, and I think that this team's actually backing it up.
Yeah, the only reason I ask those questions is because I'm like solutions, right? And so, you see, and I just got a fantastic mention in the chat about like Georgia Tech getting blown out in the bowl game, or what happened in '92. And I think that was more of a temperament change than it was actually getting significantly better players, right? You're not going to get much better than Bruce Pickens or Mike Kroll or, Derek Brown or those guys. Those guys are elite, right? So I'm like, Nebraska's had more talented basketball teams, even in Coach Hoiberg's tenure. But they don't play with this kind of resolve and tenacity either. So I'm just trying to, if we want to fix it, like, what am I looking for?
But you would even go back to the more talented teams and like
hoops.
Yeah, like in basketball, like Fred's more talented teams. I mean, when things started going bad on the floor with those guys, it was like everything just went haywire and everybody's playing hero ball. Like you don't have that with this group. Like, I think that's the difference. Like they're just unflappable, or have been, when, you need a bucket whenever, Illinois is making a run at home and things are getting a little tight. Like it's a group that knows who they are and knows that system so well. I mean, I think maybe there's some lessons there for Nebraska football if you can find a you can find something that you can kind of go back to. I don't know what that is though.
Did that basketball team play like they played like they knew that they had led for 85%, 88% of that game? Because I think they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And the 14-point lead got away from them. And I mean, to their credit, it just looked like it never mattered.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, you kind of go through the games that have been a little bit back and forth. I mean, they against Illinois, I mean, they had a great answer. Like they're just a team that,
I mean, they only turned Ohio State over 8 times. They shot 28% from 3.
Yeah.
On the road, BRUNTZ.
I know. Well, that defense is not bad either. They can play a little defense.
Yeah.
So,
well, the defense travels. That's
yeah.
the part, right? Is you can survive these scoring droughts. You can survive having a little lulls offensively if you can defend the way this team defends.
It's crazy how everybody understands the no middle, where Nebraska traps, how they trap, and it still looks frenetic every time they see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, last night I thought offensively though, but that was like the first game where I can kind of feel it felt like Nebraska was bothered by, a team's pressure. Like I thought Ohio State got them out of sorts a little bit early in possessions, but I don't know. I mean, it's just they're just a really dialed in group, and that's it's been kind of fun to watch.
Ravi knows it is absolutely because I am a huge Bruce Thornton guy. Actually, I'm not. I can't stand him. But it was cool to see Bynum and Frager go head to head again. I felt like they were in 8th grade all over again. Did we lose Bruntsy?
Nope.
No, I'm still here.
Oh.
Nodding. I agree. No, you're right. It was, yeah, I don't know. It's the thing that gets me though is like, are we past is Nebraska for real questions yet? Like that's always the studio show question right out of the games of like, is this team good?
I was talking about this in the first segment.
Okay.
Go back and listen to KP and Coach Hoiberg after the Michigan State game. That post-game interview. Coach Hoiberg was completely past. We're legit. He's like, no, Kent. Like, this is another data point. Like, we're gonna move on. We expect it. I was like, oh, yeah. Coach Hoiberg is like, you know what? We're actually pretty good. Let's not stand a moment.
Last night he was tossing it to break. Fred was. He's like, I want to get the hell out of here. Let's get it to break.
Got stuff to do.
All right, buddy.
BRUNTZ, appreciate the time as always. Hope you had a lovely holidays, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll talk then.
Appreciate it, buddy.
That's Michael BRUNTZ, Husker 24/7. We've got a little national hoops talk coming up next with Isaac Trotter from 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports. That's CB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, really well. I think really well. Brock's a leader. He's been through this and, the ups and downs. And, you're not going to win every match a lot sometimes. And he'd love to win all of them, but he didn't, obviously. He's got a couple losses, just like Antrell. But these guys are tough-minded guys, and they have the ability to bounce back and learn from their mistake. That's the key. Is not making the same mistake and getting better from it, and that's what Brock has done. And Corey Land's a really good wrestler, so he's wrestled a quality opponent.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
I think what led to those 9 3-pointers was giving up good shots for great shots. I think we had great looks, and we just made that one more pass to the next great shooter on our team, and we were just able to knock that shot down. So I think it just started with being selfless. Yeah, I think we talk about like the next game on our schedule is the most important game, and we needed to win a couple days in practice to beat Purdue today. They're a great team, and so yes, we wanted to bounce back from those 2 losses, but Purdue was our focus, and just they were the next opponent. I think just being able to guard our yard, limit offensive rebounds. I think when you hold a team like to 62 points, like in the Big Ten, like you should be able to come away with wins. And so that was definitely something we talked about, not pointing fingers, but pointing fingers at ourselves and looking in the mirror and what could we do differently. And I thought our response today to that was a lot better.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Picking up the floor, it's Carr.
Boyd in transition, in a hurry, and second chance, throwing a foul for Winter, and early discontent for Purdue.
Attacking and being defensive players, a great job by the Hawkeyes to make him put it on the floor.
Sturps, deep three, got it. What a shot.
It's Sanford, puts it up, got it! Bang! Arreglo! Sanford with a 3-ball. Humongous, gigantus, 5-point. Husker lead at 63-58.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Isaac Trotter from 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports. What's going on, Isaac? How we doing?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we appreciate it. It's going to be weird. We're not going to start with Nebraska just because it's low-hanging fruit, but we will start in the Big Ten. When you look at Michigan and what they were able to do, kind of their size, their length, their margin for error, what do you need to see from them to know if what they're actually doing to opponents is believable?
Nothing else. I'm all the way in. I'm like completely all the way in. The thing that I keep going back to with this group is when Ade Mara is on the floor, this might be the best defense I've ever seen. Like, they're holding opponents to 38% at the rim when Mara is on the floor. That's like an absurdly nuts stat. The best other stat that I could think of is like when Chet Holmgren was at Gonzaga.
And we were spoiled with Kalkbrenner.
Well, I have to check that one, too. That's a good one. But at Gonzaga, it was 45% for Gonzaga when Chet Holmgren was on the floor. 38% is, like, nuts. And it's just, like, it's fueling everything that they're doing. They force a lot of jumpers. They get out in transition and run at a really high level. And this transition offense is, like, crazy. It's amazing how Dusty May, a few years ago, Dusty May, when he was at FAU, he had this one little comment where he's like, we want to give the ball oxygen. And I don't know why, it's just stuck with me over the years as I watched his teams. And this team has that more than ever. The ball just pops all over the floor like a pinball machine. And that unselfishness is basically fueled by this defense that really gets them out and running. It feels like they're just a wagon right now. It feels so hard to build a game plan to beat them because of their strengths and how they travel every night.
Yeah, it's weird. For this early, their margin for error, depending on who's having a good offensive night, maybe who isn't, they have a ton of margin for error just because you can't score. So it doesn't really matter that one of 6 guys can get you any given night offensively too.
That's a great point. I think the other thing too is when I watch them, I just don't know who you pick at defensively. It's like, I'm not going to go after Yaks because he's 6'9", he can move really well. Elliot Cadeau is like playing the best defense of his career.
Unfortunately,
I really don't want to. Yeah,
I'm a Carolina guy,
right? Merez Johnson, like, do I want to get ISO'd against a 6'9", 250-pound dude who's super athletic? No, I'm good. Like, all of these guards are kind of big and strong and long and mean. It's a tough team to play against because I just don't know who you go after. And they have really reduced teams to like, hey, you have to make contested jumpers to try to hang with us. And every one of those contested jumpers is a long shot for a long rebound, which means they run again. It's just all correlated together. And their defense and offense are tied together at the hip. And that's really that's so sustainable about it. I don't know if you guys seen the new like average 2-point attempt distance on KenPom.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like
I'm
measuring like
on it now.
Yeah. 8.1 is the longest, like is like basically the average 2-point attempt shot, like 8 feet away from the basket when you're playing Michigan. Like you get nothing at the rim, and that's the number one mark in college basketball by a wide margin.
Speaking of Michigan, it seems to me like they are by far the best team in the country.
Oh no.
And so I'm trying. What are the differences between them? Let's say them, Arizona State, and Iowa State in your mind.
That is something that I've been weighing a lot this week. I think for me with Iowa State, I think the difference with Iowa State is I trust like 4 Iowa State players at a really, really high level. And for Michigan, I feel like I'm at like 8 that I really trust. That's I feel like the biggest difference. With Arizona, that's a matchup I'd love to see because it feels like Arizona's game plan is pretty similar to Michigan.
It is.
In the pound the glass, get out and run. We have big guards, big wings, big front court. We're always playing like kind of a double big lineup at times. So like I feel like they're kind of similar. It feels like Michigan though could be like Arizona on steroids. Like I think their bigs are a little bit better than Arizona's bigs. I think their guards are a little bit better than Arizona's guards. I think their wings are a little bit better than Arizona's wings. Like that's kind of the difference I think for Michigan. Historically wise, in the KenPom era, Michigan is tracking to be like the second best team of all time. It's behind a Duke team back in the early 1988, 99 Duke. Like this is a different group. I put Michigan almost in its own tier right now until proven otherwise, because what they're doing is just a historic pace.
It does seem though like Joshua Jefferson is like top 5 players in the country that no one really discusses. He's incredible.
He is, man. Like his playmaking is nuts. The one-hand dimes, he'll do it with his left hand, he'll do it with his right hand. He is a wizard as a playmaker, and what an evaluation there too. He just consistently getting a little bit better and a little bit better, and he goes back to like one of my favorite trends, which is that year 2 transfer jump. You can get a transfer that's
from
great,
St. Mary's.
When you can keep them that second year, they're able to level up, and Jefferson transfers from St. Mary's, and year 2 has really turned into an amazing player. No player who is 6'9" or taller is averaging more assists than Jefferson right now. He's well over 5 a game. And the other thing too is like, look at the type of season he's getting out of Milan Momcilovic. Like that playmaking, that in Momcilovic's shot making, it goes together really, really well. You add in Damon Lipsey, what he's been doing, like that's a darn good team. And it does feel though like Jefferson is kind of the head of the snake because of his ability to rebound, defend, pass, make shots, score inside, score outside. Like he is a perfect college basketball player because of his ability to impact the game in like 9 different ways.
Yeah, I'm going to give you another team, and Michigan hammered them, and it was by far the most impressive half, and that includes the one that Iowa State put on Purdue. I've seen a few doozies, but Gonzaga, kind of in that similar ilk, right? Athletic, big, long front court, those strong guards. I get it. Michigan hammered them, but not that Gonzaga's been left for dead, but is Gonzaga better than we think they are nationally?
I'm still in on them as a national title contender. I really do think that they could find a way to win 6 in a row because you're right. Like the strengths that they have of this roster, one, they're deep. I think they got 10, 11 guys at times that they trust. They're so old. This is the second oldest team in the sport. And the thing is, though, like I've watched them lately, they're kind of still tinkering. Like they don't know what their best lineup is. Sometimes, it's Tyon Grant Foster at the 3, Braden Huff at the 4, Graham UK at the 5. Other times, like who's our point guard? Sometimes it's been Braden Smith has been their best option, not the one at Purdue, the different one. And then Mario St. Superi, right, the freshman from Spain. So it's kind of a weird team where I feel like they have so many different guys that can play, but they're still kind of figuring out who's the best fitting together. I agree. Like one loss to Michigan where everything goes right and everything goes wrong should not disqualify a team like this from potentially winning the title. And yes, I know, like, everybody, whenever I say that, people are like, well, no national championship winner has ever lost a game by 30 whatever points in the history. It's like, yeah, I get it, but like, can we be open-minded that like maybe teams could lose early in the season and then potentially still go on a real run? Like, I haven't really given up on the Zags because the strengths of those teams, like their interior is awesome. Huff and Ike, I feel like they're almost like a walking 40 points a game where you just walk on the floor being like, yep, we'll get 40 from them, and then we'll see if we can get 40 from the rest of the group.
So I'm, a little bit negative and kind of a hater. So I'm going to ask a negative question here. Out of the top teams in college basketball right now, so you can draw the line wherever you want, but out of the teams that are considered either national title, Final Four contenders, just top 25 teams in general, who is the team that you look at and you go, nope, not buying it?
Well, this would have been more spicy a couple weeks ago, but I'm kind of out on Duke. I've been out on Duke a little bit, and then
got a big one with Louisville tonight.
Yeah, that's a big one against Louisville, and they've also started to show some of their warts lately, like Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Texas Tech all really rock this defense, and I just don't look at this group and think it's the most talented roster. Like, Cameron Boozer's an unbelievable player, but they're still really searching to find their offensive identity and like who's that second guy for them. And defensively, I think that there's a big step down from what they had last year. It feels like at all five positions, it's like they went from Tyrese Proctor to Caleb Foster. Like, that's probably even defensively, but Dame Sarr isn't nearly the defender that we saw from Sion James last year. Cameron Boozer's not nearly the defender we saw from Cooper Flagg. Patrick Gongwa's not nearly the rim protector we saw from Kaman Malawach last year. So this is a Duke team that I've kind of been slightly selling in that 11-0 start, and they started to show a little bit of their cracks lately. I think it's a good team. I think Shire's an excellent coach, honestly, but this roster feels like a piece or two away. And I keep going back to the offseason when they had Cedric Howard on the horn. Like, he was supposed to be on this team. And at the last second, he stays in the NBA draft, goes to Memphis Grizzlies in the lottery, and has become a really good rookie for them. If Cedric Howard was on this roster, I'd feel a whole lot better about Duke's outlook in March.
There's a fairly good discrepancy between the two, whether it's net or even KenPom, regardless of metrics you use in terms of spots. Who do you believe more in, Nebraska or Vanderbilt?
Boy, that's a great question. I slightly lean towards Nebraska because I think that Nebraska's showing that they can win games in a few more different ways. I think that the fact that they have a legit five like Rienk changes the floor mapping in such a real way that gives teams problems. Rienk is probably the second best stretch five in college basketball, or maybe even the first best. He's really in that discussion now.
And he can initiate offense too, which is crazy with how they can use it.
And he just draws another shot blocker away from the rim. He's able to basically open up those back doors. Like, the dribble handoff stuff that they've done is really good. I think Vanderbilt's a good team, a really good team. Tyler Tanner is playing maybe even a first-round pick, which is kind of crazy to say about a 6-foot guard. But, their talent-wise isn't necessarily to jump off the page at me, and they still haven't played an awesome big man, and that's Vanderbilt's biggest problem. I don't – Carolina guy, Jalen Washington, I don't trust Jalen Washington going up against some of these, big-time brute force bigs that he might see down the road to be able to, shore up and get stops. So Vanderbilt's a good team, but I kind of feel like Nebraska's way that they're playing might be more sustainable long term.
Why do you think people have struggled with kind of how Nebraska's they're so no middle? And I get it maybe the first time around, but the league kind of understands how Coach Linzer and that defensive staff in Nebraska want to play defense. Why has that no middle been such a fit for teams?
It's interesting. I think that the no middle is working in ways, but I also kind of feel like they're rotating and executing it a little bit better with worse personnel. It's bizarre, right? I thought last year's team had better defensive personnel overall, but this group is executing the plan at a high level. And I think it goes back to two guys for me. It's Hoiberg, obviously, Sam Hoiberg, who I think is playing like an all Big Ten type of defensive guard, which is, again, insane at this rate. And it's also Berke Benutenzel. Berke has done a much better job of executing this plan. He stops up space. He can guard on the perimeter. He's big. He's in the gaps.
He's rebounding now too.
Really rebounding. He looks more athletic. I think he's moving way better than what it was a year ago. And they sneakily take up a lot more space this year. And I think there's going to be nights where, teams make some open threes or whatever, and Nebraska lose the game. But I do think this plan is working because they're able to execute it at a slightly higher rate. And they've mixed in a few more defensive coverages against pick and rolls last night, too. I thought they did some good stuff against Ohio State, getting at the level, playing a little bit aggressive at the level. They mix in some mid-drop. They mix in some deep drop. They're not just playing one ways against pick and rolls. And I think that's certainly helping it out too, because you're seeing a few different looks from this group and their ability to, navigate on the fly and find answers defensively.
Okay, Isaac, DB and I were having this conversation. Well, we have this conversation once a week, but we were having this conversation about how many teams we think can win a national title. All right. So I'm going to go through Ken Palm here. You stop me when I get to a team that cannot win the national title, okay?
Deal.
Michigan, Arizona, Iowa State, Purdue, Gonzaga, Vanderbilt.
Stop.
Okay.
No chance.
We got one there. UConn, Illinois, Duke.
I don't think they will, but I think they have to be in the conversation.
Okay.
BYU.
I think they can win it.
Houston.
Yep.
Michigan State.
No shot.
This is interesting.
Louisville.
No shot.
Ooh.
Bama.
No shot.
Florida.
That's it.
No.
Okay, so we're done there.
That's 11.
We got to. So we're at 11 teams that you think can win the national title. Does that sound right now that we've done the exercise?
I do. And the team that I think is really going to pop off tonight is Houston. I think Houston is going to be
they got
team
Tech?
Yeah, at home.
Yeah.
That's a game where people are like, oh, they won that game again? Oh, yeah, by the way, Houston's back to being awesome. I think that Houston's backcourt of Milos Uzan, Kingston Flemings, and Emmanuel Sharp is maybe my favorite unit, maybe my favorite backcourt in all of college basketball. And that is really something that I think could catapult them down the stretch. All three of those guards can play defense. They pass, they dribble, they shoot, they create. They're tough. All of those guards. And I really trust that. And the thing is, through the first 6-ish weeks, Houston hasn't really played like Houston. There's a lot of defensive mistakes on that film. They're making uncharacteristic mistakes. And I kind of trust that Kelvin Sampson will kind of get that defense humming at the level. So that's a team that I think, they're 11th on Ken Palm right now, but I have them in my own brain, and whatever that means. I have them power rated in my head a lot higher than 11th nationally. I think they have a chance to really go on a serious run.
All right. IT, who's better than their record, Arkansas or Alabama?
I like Arkansas. Maybe that comes back to bite me, but that's a good team. And the thing is it feels like their top 8 just works. Darius Acuff is a beast offensively and just constantly able to get into the paint at will. He's got those big, strong shoulders.
He's going to start to shoot a better field goal percentage too. Most of that is his shot selection, right?
Totally. And the other thing with him is he doesn't turn it over. And that's something that I think has been really impressive. He had 4 turnovers against Tennessee, and that was hands down one of his worst of the season. For the most part this year, he's been a really, really good turnover averse player. And I think when you have Acuff and Thomas, those guys thunder and lightning together. Malik Thomas, Acuff is that big, strong, sturdy, thunder guard, get downhill. Thomas is just a catapult of bucket getting, and he is so slippery and wiry as a shot maker. And when those two guys are really rolling, and then you add in hey, Billy Richmond checks in off the bench, and he's just all energy, toughness, athleticism, power. Trayvon Brazile is playing like an NBA player right now at the 4. So I have a hard time with Arkansas because I don't really trust John Calipari to run the best offense, and I don't really trust them away from home to find ways to win games when they don't have that home crowd advantage. But I do think that this roster might be one to where their strengths kind of outweigh those weaknesses, and they're able to turn it on and maybe be the SEC's best team. The talent on this group is really undeniable.
I like him a lot, and Creighton fans will see him tonight in the Big East. And I get a lot of it is because he averages over 41% through his career shooting it behind the arc. Bryce Lindsey has been fantastic for Nova, and quietly they're 12-2, right? There were those rumblings, post great coach era. I get it, the schedule hasn't been daunting, but they are 12-2. What do you like about Nova?
I love the guard play. I think Bryce Lindsey, like you talked about, can really score, but Caden Lewis can get to the rim. Tyler Perkins, tough, smart, dependable. I feel like he's like a Midwest offensive lineman who's playing, a two-guard spot for Villanova. That's what he reminds me of. Devin Askew has been really good for them. And so when you have 4 guards that can all pass, dribble, and shoot, that makes me really bullish on your thing. And, the thing with Kevin Willard, like, he gets a lot of heat because I'm not sure he's like this program, like, elevator to the, like the national title contender.
He's
every
tough
year.
as a spokesperson, too.
Right. But, like, he is a good basketball coach. Like, I feel like he gets, like, his teams to play at a high floor type of outcomes more often than not. And so Villanova, with those 4 guards, you add in Duke Brennan, who's just a beast on the glass. They're not the most talented team. I don't think they blow you away with their athleticism up front. Like, they don't have like a really elite rim protector or like a super jump out of the gym 4-man. But the guard play is good enough. They rebound well enough. They play slow and grind you into a pulp. That all works. I think they're probably the second best team in the Big East right now for me. And I don't really hold, a blowout loss to Michigan against them and a close loss to BYU against them. Those are totally fine. I think there's a really good chance that Villanova ends up on maybe a 6-7 seed in the NCAA tournament. I think you take that all day, every day if you're Villanova after kind of what you endured the last couple of years.
Yeah, and kind of flying under the radar. Brennan shoots 63% from the field too. So when you put that with Lindsey's, 3-point shooting and his acumen, that's a tough inside-out combo. When you look at the game tonight for Creighton, level of surprise with a Coach Mack team, and they're figuring it out. But just one score in double figures with Josh Dix. Be patient, gonna be how they have to play, waiting for better things to come. How are you looking at Creighton?
Weird team, because on paper there's no way that this defense should be higher rated than the offense. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's crazy.
And that's just the reality right now. It's odd. I think they're obviously kind of trying to figure out what our identity is. They basically flipped to Jason Green playing the 5, and I like that. He's kind of operated kind of as like a 6'8" version of like Rienk. He's like a Rienk Mast like light, as like a dribble handoff hub who could throw those backdoor passes, maybe step out and hit a 3 once or twice if you need him to. Like, that's kind of their identity, because Owen Freeman's been one of the most disappointing transfers so far in the early going. Yeah. So it's weird. I think Dix had a lot of expectations on him as like this scorer. I haven't been super impressed with him offensively, but I have been impressed with him defensively. He has been someone who, like, they can put on the top guard on the opposite end, and he gets stops. And I think tonight against Bryce Lindsey, that's a good matchup for Dix. He's 6'5". Like, he can go at Lindsey. He can give him some trouble with his length. He can keep him, hook and trail and keep him off the 3-point stripe. I think that Creighton is built to give Villanova some issues, because the strength of this defense is some of these perimeter guys that can really blanket shooters. If they can control the basketball and kind of guard the ball, I think there's a chance for them to win it. But it does feel like Creighton is in a little bit of a kind of a figuring out what we are type of phase. And if Owen Freeman doesn't, I don't think they could be the best version of themselves without Freeman becoming a real piece of this team. If he's not going to be a part of this rotation long-term moving forward, I can't be all the way in on Creighton as a legit, team that can make the tournament.
That's Isaac Trotter.
Let me sneak in
one
more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, the resident Carolina honk when it's not Nebraska basketball. Couple of blue bloods, some tough losses, and listen, they caught a guy on a heater. That SMU game, I was peeved it was on CW because it didn't do the performance justice. But they ran into a buzzsaw with SMU. That's going to be a good team in the ACC, especially with that backcourt. But when you look at Kansas and North Carolina, they're kind of hovering. Kansas getting healthy, NC starting to hit rhythm with the front court size of a couple of blue bloods. Who do you have more confidence in to be who the programs have been?
I think I lean Kansas by a hair, but it's close. You know, the only reason I lean Kansas is because I think if Darren Peterson plays like legit 30 minutes a game,
this pits him in for 30.
If he could ever play 30 minutes a game, like, oh my Lord, like that guy is one of the most enjoyable offensive players I've ever seen. Like, he is
bucket.
Oh, like he makes a hard game look so easy. And I like what Carolina's working with. Like, I think that front court is a problem, but the guard play it feels like they have 5 different guards, and I'm not sure like which one is going to emerge on a night-to-night basis behind Seth Trimble. And that's like maybe the biggest question for me. But I kind of feel like UNC's floor is higher than Kansas because the front court is so dominant with Caleb Wilson and Henry Visar. I just kind of wonder if Kansas's upside is a little bit different because when DP is right, like, good Lord Almighty, I don't know how you guard that dude.
Isaac Trotter, 24/7 Sports. Isaac, appreciate the time as always. I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, IT. Appreciate you.
That is
He's
Isaac
so
Trotter. Good stuff there as always. That's your national college basketball landscape, which is
you like Kansas?
I like Peterson.
He's silly.
I don't like Kansas.
My man was like taking a couple of weeks off, getting healthy, and it's like, yeah, no problem.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to roll. What do you have, like 23 in the first half or something?
Yeah.
Just rolling out the rack?
Wait, 17, like the first 21 or something. It's like, he just gets to the foul. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
He described it really well. He makes a really difficult game look really easy.
Are you, have you seen much Lindsey?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's silky smooth tonight. That's going to be
yeah.
He shoots, he's over, you have to, I think he's over 43% from 3. But he only shoots 46% from the floor.
Yeah, what's his shot distribution like?
Well, clearly it's...
Yeah, I would say he probably takes like 1-2 a game.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, wait, how is your 3-point percentage almost as good as your regular field goal percentage? It's like 40, it might even be 44%
really?
From 3. Yeah, I think you'll like him. His backcourt mate can't shoot it. He can't throw it in the ocean, but man, he can get to the 10. Right, because I think he's
at almost 45. He's at 44.7.
Oh, that's believable.
Yeah, he's almost at 45.
Are you confident?
No.
Jeez, man. No. What's the line? You're such a ninny.
Listen,
I asked you but in your defense, I did ask you about Nebraska last night. You're like, yeah, they're winning.
Yeah, I was the one that was on Nebraska where somebody wasn't. I was
waffling. I was a Belgian.
You were a waffler. You said you thought they were going to lose. You said thought they were going to lose.
It's like weird. How can I take them to cover and not win? And the line was only 3.
That's where I'm at. If it's less than a bucket in basketball, I'm just going to take the win. If I think they're going to cover, you know.
So it's a crazy basketball season.
Ken Palm's got the game at 7. I don't know if we have a real line yet.
It is out and. Wow. What would you have made the St. John's Butler game?
Oh,
St. John's can't score, but
probably
or shoot, I should say.
Where's it at?
They're on the road. St. John is on the road. It's at Hinkle.
6.5.
It's 4.5.
That's a little low.
Is St. John good? What do you think Georgetown DePaul is?
Oh God. Disgusting. At DePaul?
Yeah.
Probably right around 4.5.
It's 2.5.
Okay. So I'm a couple points high. I'm a couple points high on those. Not terrible.
Where is Creighton and Nova?
No, it's tomorrow.
That's right.
It's tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. So Ken Palm's got it at 7 for Nova.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought today was Wednesday.
I don't know. We just got back from break. No days make sense yet.
They really don't, to be honest.
I like it. I'm not really kidding.
Reminds me, I got Big Red Wrap Up tonight. I forgot.
There you go.
Damn Tuesday.
Hey, don't forget you have.
Should be a scintillating show.
Don't forget you have Big Red Wrap Up tonight.
Shut up, Shane.
Okay.
Shut up. Good help, Shane.
Appreciate that. Hope you feel better than ever.
That's mean.
I'm just kidding. I love Shane.
Jess is gonna yell at you now for being mean to Shane.
Oh, she's busy. She ain't listening.
I got a bone to pick with Jess now too, though.
Hey, Shane, you grabbing her for tomorrow for wrestling and hoops?
Working on it.
Post Vegas?
Yeah.
Tell her Ravi's got a bone to pick.
Okay.
All right.
She probably needs a vacation.
Nah, she was just in Vegas. She's fine.
But that was work.
I know.
Shoot. And we did not get along.
Don't forget, make sure you go check out our friends over at Next Gen Male Medical Clinic. I know it's got male in the name, but it can be for men and women. And they're one of the few places that will accept insurance as well. Go to nextgenmalemedicalclinic.com. You can schedule an appointment and see all the different therapies they have available for you. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. We'll be back tomorrow.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.